Time for divine shot, KJ events. This real talks the brand. You understand how we do, my man. I'm on that Friday night Knicks shit, dripping in Knicks shit. Up in the world most famous arena with the clip. That's the conglomerate. The Knicks real talk, we real prominent. I'm a bit like the Omicron variant, dominant. Paying homage to the cat in the chat. That's where it's at. Cause I'm hearing that. You don't care for hyperbole, we straight facts. We interact with the mob, the gods. Up in the pod, the squad, the side. The entourage be on the job, my energy. Feeling tripping in tempo as they cook my game plan. Let my brand for loop and pursuit. Going hard like the New York City gritty committee. Cause that the Knicks we know is pretty, but we all stay giddy. And we embrace the fan base like the late Anthony Mace. We create the logo when there's airspace that appear like square space. Staring down on the Chase Bridge, look at that Knicks City drip. And 50 dashes on the court, looking pretty legit. I stay true to the orange and blue. I thought you knew for him a few bars to shine like stars divine on Mount Mars. Knicks real talk. Here we go, let's go.
Knicks real talk right here. I'm representing
Knicks real talk.
right here. Let's get it.
Here we go, let's go.
We here in the building.
Knicks real talk.
Let's get it.
Here we go, let's go.
Yeah, for real. Yes, sir.
Knicks real talk.
We here.
Here we go, let's go.
Knicks real talk. Let's get it. Let's get it. Yeah, for real. Yes, sir.
Let's get it. Salute everybody. What's going on, man? Knicks real talk. We in the building with the post game tonight. Me and my brother Shop Powell, we're going to get it popping. Talk about this game, this 106-104 win at the Garden last night. Shit was on fire like we thought it would be. We're going to break it all down, man. But salute everybody who coming in to check us out tonight. You know, we don't do the post game a lot, but we're in the building tonight. And we just going to have some, have some fun with it. Talk about everything that's going on around the way, man, especially last night in that game against Miami at the Garden, man. Knicks went in there, had got it done. Star J, RJ got back to himself. Don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years. He was doing his thing as well, man. So salute to RJ Barrett, but Shop House was good. My brother was popping.
Salute to you, Divine. Salute to the chat. Let's get it.
Yeah, we up in here, man. Y'all know what it is, man. We in the building, man. Divine and Shop. Knicks will talk post game. Like I said, what a game last night, Shop Powers. What a game, brother. They was playing some deep ball last night. They did what we thought they would do. I'm happy to see what they did last night, man. The Knicks came and played last night, man. I'm very happy about that. So I'm like, let's get it, man. And, you know, coming off a win like that, one we say that we really needed. We came out there and prevailed, man. And I'm happy about the effort and everything they put in there. And the bounce back game with RJ, Randall, Quentin Grimes came up big time for us, man. So let's get into it, Shop. I thought it was a good game last night overall, man. That shit was fun.
Yeah, man, the Knicks did what they had to do, man. They pushed the page. If I mean, I know I run in the hole, but if you paid attention to the game last night, they were up the court last night. They pushed the pace last night. A lot of plays, you seen them get the ball, get the rebound, push the ball up, and go for the juggler, and they did that very well last night. They also rebound very well last night, and they also got to the line and hit about I think I seen 3 misses, but I think they went to the line 20 times, 4 misses. You know what I mean? So, and I think they went to 20-something times or something like that. That's basketball right there, man. You know what I mean? You put a little defense in there and stuff like that, and you let your guys shine, man. The Deuce McBride shined last night. Quentin IQ shined last night. Grimes shined last night. Randall shined last night. You know, RJ, the whole team contributed, man, and that's what it takes for this team. Everybody got to come out and put in some work. 4 or 5 points from you, 5 rebounds from you, 3 steals from you, a block or 2 from you. Get out on the fast break and make our fast break points a little bit more. You know what I mean? Hit our free throws, rebound. You know what I mean? All the things that we always talk about, Divine. It came to fruition tonight. We needed that win last night. It was a big win for us. I mean, out of the last 4 major teams that we played, Brooklyn, last night, Miami, Cleveland, and Boston, we 3 or 4. You know what I mean? And we almost won the 4th one. We a good team, man. And that's what I want us to be this year. I want us to be a good team.
Yeah, real talk. You know, and like we say, the resiliency over there was crazy to me, though. We beat the boys without Mitchell Robinson and Jalen Brunson.
Facts.
You know what I mean? And even though they were down players too, but them we were down 2 cats in the starting lineup. You know what I mean? And they both play a pivotal part in what we do as a team. We got one holding down the front court, with the rim protection, the rebounding, the defense. We got one holding down the backcourt with the scoring, the savviness, the assists, the hustle, the winning mentality. So to not have two guys in that lineup last night and still go out there and play a game like that showed me something, man. They showed me what we've been seeing all year. The resiliency of this team is pretty special, man. They might be down, but they don't never be out like that. And then last night, they down, but they don't be out, man. And I think they're showing some good resiliency in New York. I think this thing's going to be fun moving forward. The last 30 games, 29 games, this is going to be interesting, man. And I think this team get Brunson back off the illness. Don't know if he play tomorrow or not. And Mitchell Robinson can probably get back right after the All-Star game, a week or two after the All-Star game. Then we just go to the next 20 games battling. You know what I mean? Shop out, go in there, try to get many wins as we can, man, and try to stay up in this thing, man. We right there for the takings. And there's a lot of good things happening for the Knicks, man. So let's hope they can continue doing this thing and we get a pop-up. But salute to the chat, man. Canal, what's popping? Canal, my man. Met Nick fan, let's go. Fabian, salute to you. Salute to everybody out there where we're streaming in from, man. I know it's cold wherever you guys are up. If you up here in the city, you know it's a little cold out there. So y'all make sure y'all bundle up and all that good stuff. But we in the building, man. We're going to get it popping for a little bit tonight. And just talk about that good win and talk about everything else that's going on. We got the trade deadline coming up pretty soon. We get a little buzz of that in here tonight. We talk about what's moving forward for the Knicks, and there's a lot of stuff out there, man. A lot of energy out there. But for me, the main energy for me is the Knicks basketball team that's on the floor playing good basketball, shot powers. Them cats competing, man. They compete, and I'm happy to see that.
Yeah, they definitely are. Making the naysayers like really bite their tongue a little bit, man. Like I said, in the last 4 games, 4 top 10 Eastern Conference final teams with 3 and 4. You know what I mean? And almost won the 4th one. So the team and like you said, we're still down guys, still missing Mitchell Robinson, but we don't have Quentin Grimes right now. Brunson right now. So and we're still achieving a win. You know what I mean? That's major, man. And kudos to the Knicks for really doing what they need to do to try to keep themselves viable in this Eastern Conference. That's really tough, man. This Eastern Conference, if you still look at it right now, 50-something games into it, everybody's all bunched up. Everybody's right around the same numbers. Right now, we're a game under 6th place, but 5 wins in a row with 5 losses from the 2nd place team, and we in 3rd. So it's just that easy. You know what I mean? Not wishing no ill will to any other team in the East, but injury now, you know what I mean, to certain teams right now, is gonna, really hurt them. You know what I mean? And we somehow, some way, we have survived this without Mitchell Robinson, and we still needed him. Every game that we played with them, we won just barely, but with him on the court, the defense, I don't know, maybe it's just me being a homer and paying attention to too much stuff. But when Mitch on the court, we play a little better.
Yeah, real talk. For me, man, after watching last night's game, I just like the way these cats, them young cats, they knew it was a big game. Next man up mentality. They knew it was a big game, Shop Out. Them cats know they had to shine last night. And they came out and played. I'm talking about the Brides of the world, the Obi Toppin, the ones that we need, that we don't expect to have a good game every night. But the one that we needed the most, they stepped up. And I thought Quentin Grimes did a great job. I think what he was people not giving his respect for last night was the defense he put on Jimmy Butler now. Make no mistakes. Quentin Grimes last night defense in that game was what won the Knicks that basketball game last night, to me. That cat was really in his bag on the defense side of the ball. He was guarding Jimmy Butler. He was guarding whoever was in front of him. That cat was killing it last night. I'm like, okay. And then on top of that, his shot was falling. So I think overall he had a great game for the Knicks last night to me, man. I break down the plus minus and everything. Quentin Grimes was a plus 8, 17 points, man. 3 assists, 4 rebounds. His defense, that's what won that game for the Knicks, besides RJ doing RJ things last night. Like I said, don't call it a comeback. I've been here for 4 years. You know what I mean? RJ was doing his thing, man. What I was impressed about last night, his 3 ball wasn't falling. He was 0 for 5 from downtown, but he didn't let that affect his game. He started going bully ball on Tyler Hero, getting in the lane, down the lane, unorthodox shots here and there. He was super aggressive and that's what you want to see a young player like him do. My 3-ball ain't falling. I got other means. I got some other weapons in the bag, whatever. And I think he pulled them out last night. So good for him, man. He really came to play. I think McBride to me was special last night. Them shots he hit was clutch. And so it was overall a good win against a competitive team like the Miami Heat. But you know what's so crazy, Shot Powers, and I'm letting you tonight the Hawks play down there up in Utah. We play tomorrow against the Clippers. The Miami Heat got the Bucks, and Giannis in the last 5 games, Giannis been scoring average of 42 a game. Just saying. So he got to go into Milwaukee tomorrow. Just let they lose that game, and the Knicks find a way somehow miraculously win that Clipper game. That we back in the 6th spot, tied up. This thing is lit right now, so that's why we gotta hope these cats keep playing good basketball like they did last night. And just keep contributing, man. Hartenstein playing good ball, man. You know, all these guys, man. His hustle. I think overall that was a good game last night, man. That's what we need, and we got it. So you can't be too mad at what them cats brought to the table last night. They showed a lot of the New York City gritty committee. Let me put it like that. That was a good game, man. Overall, that was nice.
Yeah. Talking about RJ. Man, RJ. I mean. I always say this, man. Me being as a fan, man, but RJ finger roll is different from it was the beginning of the year. I mean, maybe it's just me. It looked to me like his finger roll used to be more of a bent arm finger roll to let me put my hand to tuck it under. Now he extends and uses his fingertips so he gets closer to the backboard to make sure that he makes the shot. I mean, to me, I noticed that maybe it's just me, but he is perfect. He has a couple of moves that he likes to do. He likes that spin, so he puts you on his backside and then goes up in a spin. You know, he puts you on his backside. He makes the spin move into the left hand part of the lane, and then he gets up and he extends his whole arm and his body to the rim. So he can put the ball. He does that a lot more, and you notice that he gets a couple of more calls from him doing that. Before, he used to keep the ball down here so much to bring it up. Now, as soon as he gets past you, his arm is extended, so it looks like he draws the foul a little better too. So he's playing great basketball, man. And we talked about it. We knew he was going to have a bounce back game from sitting on the bench of a game. We just knew that's how RJ gets down. You know what I mean? And yeah, all right, you could be upset and don't want to talk to the press one time in your career. I'm pretty sure Patrick Ewing, I'm pretty sure Carmelo, I'm pretty sure Steinemark, I'm pretty sure almost every Knick in existence, one night they just didn't feel like talking to the media. So it is what it is. Quentin Grimes played a great game, but Deuce, man, finally.
That's
finally, man. Finally, you know what I mean? Finally, I've been waiting for him to pop off a little bit, because what happens with him making shots, it makes it easier for the second unit. It makes it his defense is pretty dang good, man. And with him contributing makes a big difference on that second unit. And I mean, him contributing, making those baskets, and not that I don't want to see D Rose out there, but it keeps D Rose a little bit longer on the bench. You know what I mean? Because I thought we might have seen D Rose coming up the next game or something. If Quentin Grimes was a hitting his shot and D Rose is healthy enough, I think we was going to start seeing D Rose in that second unit, because the offense in the second unit is lackluster. The defense, you know, we could probably give up a little bit on defense if we're making more offensive in the second unit, I believe. You know what I mean? But hey, man, it was a great game, and I'm glad it was one of those games that you sit back, your heart start pumping fast, your hands start shaking, you start yelling at the TV, like, come on. And the refs wasn't making it no easier last night either.
Yeah, real talk. Yeah, I ain't mad at D-Roz. A Deuce wasn't. That's a Deuce I wanted to see. He just got to give us, even if it's 7 points, just give us 7 points. With your defense, you give us at least 7 points a game, but the second, for now, behind Jalen Brunson, who's still dropping 20-something. So you get literally 30 points from your 2-point guards on any given night. I mean, so if Jalen Brunson gives you 22, 23 a game, which he is right now, and a 22, I think, point something, if McBride gets you 8 points a game, literally, consistently, that's like every night I'm going to be able to get you 8 points. the Knicks is a different team. You know what I mean? Shout out. That's been our Achilles heel right now. Is the way our second unit not be able to come up to the table when we need them.
Back.
But I seen last night, and that was amazing about that to me is that that's not having quickly in the start and the second unit because he had to play in the starting lineup last night. So that's what made it so interesting. When Jalen Brunson went down, we said on this show last night, we need these guys to step up, like who normally don't get it popping on time, and they really did. They got it popping. I think Quentin, like I said, McBride played some good minutes. Hartenstein played good minutes, obviously. Jericho Sims was no points, but was a plus 16. Ain't that something? You know what I mean? Granted, he didn't play a lot of minutes, but them 19 minutes he was a plus 16. You know, and Bam Adebayo did Bam Adebayo thing, but I gotta say I'm gonna give him game ball. I'm gonna give him game ball to Quentin Grimes, straight up. With Quentin Grimes done on Jimmy Butler them last night, put that boy in a donut, bro. Real talk, he put him in a donut last night. I mean, Jimmy Butler usually have a popping like that, man, you know, and but I gotta give my man credit, big time defense game from my man. So we'll see how it goes, man. But listen, man, the overall game, I give out some grades, we look at the score and everything like that, but it was a great game. Yo, salute to the chat and everybody. My man, Mr. J Boogie in the building. Salute to my man J Boogie. Appreciate you getting in. D Ross in the building, Cash Out, the whole chat, man. Salute to everybody. Will in the building right now. Everybody, man, that was a good game last night, man. That was, like I said, that was 90s Knicks feeling right there. You know what I mean? Well, like, we came out and played some hard basketball last night. 104 to 106, we came out there and played. That's the defense that you want to see going from here on out, especially when Mitchell Robinson get back. The Knicks come out there and only give up 101. They only give up 104 a game, hypothetically, and they scoring, 114, 112, whatever. Then, obviously that's a lot of wins right there. So going down the stretch, Miami's not a prolific offensive team. They win games on their defense just like we do. But what made it interesting to me, we played the same defense they played, but we had better offense. You know what I mean? We had more firepower. Like, RJ came to play. See, Bio came to play. Jimmy Butler didn't come to play. But RJ and Randall came to play. So that Randall offset Jimmy Butler because Jimmy Butler didn't do nothing when RJ dropped 30 and Bam had 30-something. So that was a wash. What won the game to me was Julius Randle had the numbers that Jimmy Butler didn't have. You know what I mean? So I like the way they played, but I think I Quentin Grimes 17 points sharp. They came to play last night. Shot Power, man. I can't be more excited about this team moving forward, man. Let's look at what they did on from the score, from the stat perspective. Randall, 34 minutes, 8 for 19, 3 for 9, 4 for 5 on the charity strike. That was nice. 10 rebounds, 6 assists, plus 14. Dan, they're going for another triple-double. I mean, Randall, all-star Randall, let's not forget that. Put some respect on that. The only time in his career he went to the All-Star was 2 times with Tom Thibodeau. Y'all put that in perspective. His whole career. Put that in perspective. 2 times under Tom Thibodeau, he went to the All-Star game. You're going to leave that where it's at right now. But you look at Jericho Sims, plus 16 shot powers, 2 rebounds. But, whatever he did was so positive, man. They put a plus 16 there. I think he might have had a lot to do with his, his defense and things like that because the stats from a split perspective when he looked there. RJ Barrett, what can I say? 13 for 23, despite the 0 from 5 from downtown, 4 from 6 from the charity stripe. Good for him. The cat 8 rebounds, 4 assists, -1, but had 30. Can you imagine if he would have knocked down at least a couple of them trades? The game might have been different. But he dropped the 30 piece on them guys, man. Manuel quickly had a quiet game, but his defense was really what don't come on that stat sheet was his defense. His defense on them cats in the backcourt was pretty impressive against Vincent and all the guys, man. Man, quickly in that starting unit last night. Now he looked pretty decent there, man. He made it hard on Kyle Lowry last night. Shot powers.
Yes, he did.
I was like, hey, yo, Kyle Lowry can't get nothing. So Superman quickly, for the defense job, for the offense number, but probably wasn't needed. Always needed. But I think Quentin Grimes made up for that last night. Salute to him. But other than that, man, Grimes, great game, 37 minutes, 6 for 9, field goal, 3 for 5 for downtown. That's the sniper we was looking for. 2 for 2 from the charity strike, plus 8, 17, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, and the defense was impeccable on Jimmy Butler. So yeah, that was it right there. And other than that, man, Toppin had a good game, 7 points. He was a little aggressive last night, 3 for 6 yesterday, 14 minutes, 1 for 4 from downtown. A lot of energy last night. I was glad to see that. Harkenstein played with a lot of energy as well. The minus numbers, their minus numbers wasn't, I guess that's from a defense perspective, but they definitely was out there playing, though. Obi Toppin played a better game last night than I've seen him play in a while from just an energy perspective and everything on both sides. McBride was the one I liked last night for the New York Knicks, too. 8 points, +2, 3 for 3, 2 for 2 from downtown. Had some big shots, too. 2 assists. That's the man that I want to see do what he did last night. And if we can get that every night right now, that's going to be beautiful to watch. If he can give 8 points every night, back it up Jalen Brunson, who dropped it to 20-something every night. So that's going to be pretty exciting. I like that. Fournier got 5 minutes. Good for him. 1 for 7, though. He was Brick City. 1 for 7, 1 for 6, 2 for 2. But he was out there, man. So shout out overall with that little bit of firepower we had like last night because of no Jalen Brunson and Mitchell Robinson to be able to come in Madison Square Garden and beat the Miami Heat with their key players there. Obviously, they had players that was out, but we had key players that was out. 2 of our starters was out. So to go in the Garden last night where we hadn't been playing well at home, but got it together the last and won that game, and I think that was so impressive, Shop House. I just think that that let me know that what we say about the resiliency of this team is real. That's a resilient team for sure.
Yeah, man. I mean, if you just look across the board with the stats, man, IQ almost got a triple-double. He played a good game yesterday, man. Grabbed rebounds. You know what I mean? He did what he needed to do, man. He got out there. He was gritty. Grimes, like I said, we were talking about in the last stream, man, about them team numbers, man. Them team numbers mean a lot for Quentin Grimes right now, man. And he scored 17, man. And I was, you know what I mean, harping for him. I thought IQ would probably have one of those 17, 18, but he filled up the stat sheet. And I mean, he was in the he had the assists, he had the rebounds, he scored 8 points, and I don't believe he had a turnover. I don't think he had a turnover. You know what I mean? That's great basketball right there. You know what I mean? For coming off the bench, you know what I mean? Our bench is starting to get a little lively. You know what I mean? If we could keep this bench looking like this, you know what I mean, a little lively, you know what I mean, a little you know what I mean, those points from off the bench were big last night, you know what I mean? And you know, we really needed it. We needed everything last night. All our guys got it there, and only person that really didn't put the ball in the basket was Sims last night. I mean, but he played good defense, man. He was out there being aggressive, man. And you know, what can you say, man? I'm glad we got that win, man, because you know, I did all those secondary players on the Heat last night, man. Or not secondary. Let me what they call undrafted players can really play some basketball, man. Them guys could get out there and shoot the ball, man. And they were knocking down some shots, man. And we just stayed gritty, you know what I mean? And soon Brunson will be back, and soon Mitchell will be back, you know what I mean? And if we can still get the same consistency, you know the word I'm trying to say, from the rest of the team and stuff like that, you know, we're gonna be fine, man. That's what we need. We need this team. We need all hands in, man. We need every man. You know what I mean? Them team numbers is for real. Those 13s and 12s and 17s and stuff like that. We need numbers from Grimes like that. You know what I mean? From IQ like that. You know what I mean? I'm happy to see Deuce come out there and put some pressure on the ball and make some baskets, some big baskets too. So let's see if he can continue with that, man. Putting the ball in the basket can change his whole outlook of these next 29, 30, 28, 29 games that we got left.
Yeah. You know, even though they made a run in that, we gave up 32 in the fourth quarter, obviously. But I still think overall our defense was steady. You know, we gave up, you know, that's a high score. We had 32 points. We gave up 22 in the first quarter, which was phenomenal. Then we had 24 in the third, which was phenomenal. So that second and fourth quarter when we gave up 26 and 32. But for that defense, the whole these cats, the 104 was impressive. But you know, I say all to say that
I was close last night. I was close.
Yes, you were.
I said 102, 107. I was close.
Yeah, yes, indeed, man. But like you said, the consistency that you talk about that they looking for, that's all they need. They need consistency from that second unit, like you said, and just go out there and play every night, man. Just go out there and have fun, play ball, put your work in. They paid you some money to go put work in. But in the words of my man LL Cool J, R.J. Barrett told them last night, don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years. Trust me what I'm telling you. R.J. showed me something last night. He showed the maturity of a 22-year-old dude. Say, you know what? Last time I played y'all, I gave you 46. Think about it. R.J. like last year, I gave you 46. He got a mentality that for a 22-year-old guy, man, is unfathomable. That cat don't bend for nothing. He don't bend. You know what I mean? And he don't bend for 1 minute. I'm like, he stayed cool, calm, and collected. His demeanor never changed. He just like, listen, Tyler Hero, Tyler Hero meet bully ball. That's what I'm trying to say. Tyler Hero meet bully ball. Or they were bullying them cats last night, straight down the lane, just like this here. Or I'm like, okay, that's the RJ you're looking for. He wasn't selling out short. He was a straight bully ball. I'm going at you, cat. If you can't stop me, then it's going to be a problem. He put it up last night. That was impressive to me for a guy who started out, even though his three-point shot wasn't moving shot power, he had the urgency to say, I'm going to let other parts of my game work for me. I'm going to say, okay, I got a mismatch. Everybody talking about Tyler Hero like me. Okay, I'm going to show Tyler Hero you ain't me. For all those people over talking about I want Tyler Hero over R.J. Barrett, R.J. Barrett shut that down last night. That's what I got to say. R.J. Barrett, like, listen, nah. That's a great bounce back win. So when I say all that to say that was impressive to me. We needed him to come up big. We said in the chat on the pregame, we need Randall or RJ without Brunson to do what they do. Just do what they do. And the Cats did that last night. And that's speaking truth to power. We need a RJ and Randall to go up against Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo and say but the best two players win. Because tomorrow you got RJ and Randall going up against Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. So these two without Brunson, they're my two main dudes. They're my 20-point getters. Tomorrow they got to do the same thing against Kawhi Leonard and them. And you know them Cats is great at what they do. But the Knicks got heart, man. I think they're gonna come out there tomorrow. I hope they do the same thing they did last night. We're gonna give y'all our best from the defense side of the ball, and that we gonna let you know that this is not a one-man thing, it's a team thing. And I think they're gonna get it popping tomorrow. I think it's gonna be fun. Before that game last night, I see they showed me a lot. They showed me a lot every night. They showed me something. But one thing I can say, they keep letting me know that. Let me tell y'all sleeping on us. Even our own fan base is not sleeping on us. You know what I mean? These cats got 3 cats in the starting lineup. Look at all the teams in the NBA. I want to hand it over to you. They got 3 guys in the starting lineup scoring 20 points a game every night. And guess what? All 3 of them left-handers. And here's the thing that was so powerful about that. It's not too many teams in the NBA got 1 left-hander on their team. 1. We got 3 of them in the starting lineup. And see, a lot of people in the NBA not used to defending left-handed. They always defend the right-handed. So many right-handers, they mind always set. So they have 3 left-handers, and when you go up against a lot of teams, that's why they make these shots that they make, because people think they're going to shoot with their right, but they don't realize that the Cats is left-handed. So I like what the Knicks did with this thing, man. I hope they can continue growing like this here. And when my man Mitchell Robinson and my man get back, Brunson, it's going to be on and popping in New York, man. Real talk. This thing is going to be something going down the stretch. And if you're a true NBA fan, you better jump on the wagon. Because when the train leaves the station, if you ain't on it, you ain't being able to get on pretty soon. So let's see how it goes. But y'all got to stay on this train, man. This train going down the track right now. And it's going down pretty nice the way it's going down, man. We right where we need to be, man. 28, 25. Like I said, Heat 29 and 24. And, you know, we one game away from getting back to where we were. We've been in that valley, like me and Shop Howard said, but we not to take that peak. Now, hopefully we can take that peak. So these two games coming up, that was definitely big for us, Shop. But I think we come to play no matter what happens. I think the Knicks come to play. I know they come to play that night. I can tell you that much.
Yeah, there's no question, man, about that, man. And to reiterate about RJ Barrett, man, you know, everybody says that he's 22 years old and you know, he's still young in his career. You know what I mean? He's been here for a while, but he's still young and he still has time to elevate his game, you know what I mean, to learn how to move his feet a little bit better, you know what I mean, to learn how to which way you're gonna go on your switches. Are you gonna go hard under, or you're gonna split the defense so you could go through or go over? And you know, he's gonna get better at that, man. He's 22 years old, man, and he's not like a OG that's 25 years old. He's not like a what's the other guy that's 25 years old? Dang, I forgot his name, but it's a couple of guys that's around 25 years old. He still has 3 years to get to be 25 years old. You know what I mean? And in those 3 years, he can really elevate his game, man. And in 3 years, a lot of these players that we had, a lot of the NBA stars that we talk about now are going to be out of this league, man. 3 years, we may not see LeBron here. We may not see KD here in 3 years. You know what I mean? We may not see Kawhi Leonard here in 3 to 4 years and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And there's going to be names that are going to, spiral up that ladder to where these guys has set their status. You know what I mean? And I believe RJ is going to be one of those guys, man. I got confidence in RJ, man. I think the Knicks got confidence in him. I think he's the longest tenured contract on the roster right now. I think he has the long. I think he's all the way to 25, 26 or something like that. So they believe in him. They believe in what RJ can do. I believe RJ can grow and get better. You know what I mean? And we talk about picking up guys and stuff like that. We got a guy, man. We got some guys. But we got a guy. RJ, that guy, man. He see how he starts off. Hopefully next year he'll have a quicker year. Maybe he'll get a little bit more, into the game a little. He usually has these short years, but every year that he's been on this New York Knicks team, he has elevated his game, rebounding, points wise. Even now he's elevated his game in turnovers. He gets the ball so much now that he turns the ball over. You know what I mean? So some of the things he has to clean up, but I think this guy's going to be something in 2 or 3 years, by 25. You know what I mean? He's going to be something to really reckon with, man. He's starting to get the muscle tone. He got that cuts, that vein running down his arm. You know what I mean? He might have to go get with Julius Randle over the off season and eat some good food and do some meditation or something like that. But he's going to be something to watch for the years to come.
Yeah, man. You know what? Just to piggyback on what you're talking about, Shop, what's crazy to me is look how long it took Julius Randle to get to the All-Star game.
Right.
He got there at Tom Thibodeau got him there at what, 26 years old?
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine RJ in 4 years?
That's what I'm saying.
What? Can you imagine RJ? And here's why I say that. He comes from a family of sports people. His mother, St. John, the father, St. John, whatever the case may be. Father played ball over there in Europe. Right now, he's the head of that whole thing over there. The cat, y'all remember the picture of RJ Barrett, 8 years old, sitting in his grandfather's car with a Knicks hat on. You know what I mean? But this cat, this is in his blood. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. You're never going to worry about his work ethic. You're never going to worry about his work ethic because the kid that he is in his blood. You know what I mean? He's born that way. So I think he's going to be fine. I think this cat at 22 years old, haven't even just scratching the surface, basically. That's because that's what it takes to learn the NBA unless you're uber talented. You're uber talented dude, whereas your skill set, your talent alone, your skill set can give you a lot of Ja Morant, Kevin Durant, all these guys, because they talent was just so uber impressive coming into the high NBA. It wasn't no big deal. But when you got a guy like RJ who wasn't a great shooter coming out of college, we knew that when he was coming in, we knew RJ was not a great shooter. But look at what he did and look at the way he worked on his game to get it better. His second year, RJ shot 40% downtown.
Yeah, 44, something like that.
And when Tibbs took over the team, RJ started rising. You know what I mean? Now, 2 back-to-back 20-point seasons. You can't sniff at that, man. That's not something you just can sniff at. And I really believe that this kid is going to be, even more dominant. I guarantee you when RJ get about 26, his body, I kid you not, if he do it right, it'll look like LeBron's body. I'm going to keep saying 10. I'm going to put that out there until y'all, you realize that this cat still got some growth in him. But the way he going to be once he learn how to use the muscle, not the weight, he's going to be good, man. He's going to be here for a while, man. So salute to RJ Barrett, man, because last night, like I always tell people, man, sometimes it's all right to get called out. Ain't nothing wrong with a coach calling you out, saying, "Listen, man, right now you're not playing good ball. You one of the main dudes. You sticking up the joints tonight, and we need you in here to play the RJ ball you playing." So I didn't have a problem with what he did against the Lakers. I thought that was fair. RJ at that particular time in the game, it's not about RJ, it's about the team. It's not about RJ, it's about the team. If RJ Barrett at that time, at the 3 and the 2 spot, wasn't helping the Knicks the way quickly a grind was, I don't have a problem with Tibbs sitting down because you're not playing ball tonight. I don't know what's on your mind, but you're not playing. You're in the game. So I think that was important that he did that. To me, I know we talked about it in the chat earlier. Yesterday, I thought it was important for Tibbs to send a message that, listen, right now you're not helping us win the game. It ain't about you; it's about the game. And right now, RJ, that night, you wasn't helping us win the game. I had no problem with that because if I was a coach, I would have did it myself because we need you. And you one of the $20 million players, and you just literally not in the game. You got to go sit down that night. Well, ain't no problem with that, Shop Powell. I think that's called. We said we wanted coaches to come in to hold people accountable. Am I right or wrong? That's what holding somebody accountable is.
And for you saying that, Divine, to piggyback right off of you, talking about Tom Thibodeau, I've seen this year, and I don't know. I'm just saying this as a Knicks fan. Me watching something, maybe I see a little bit too much, but when a lot of times when timeouts are called or Julius is coming off the bench, Tom Thibodeau steps a little closer to him to talk to him before he gets around the team. If it's coming off from a timeout, he'll step out on the court and have Julius, on an island by himself, and say 1 or 2 words to him. He did it to him last night, maybe 2 times. He's been doing it often in these games, and I know that some games I've seen it sometimes too. That I thought that Tibbs should have probably maybe sat Randle down. Mm-hmm. But let truth be told, man, Julius Randle is our best player in the last, in the last 3 years that he's been here. He is our best player. Let that be said. He is our best player. So whatever it takes, to help him out and do what he has to do, man. He's playing better this is the best basketball I've seen of Julius Randle since especially since he's been on the Knicks. His elevation to the basket, dunking on people, having super hot games, hitting 3-pointers. He is the reason why he made it to the All-Star. And we didn't vote him in. You know who voted him in? The coaches, the teams the coaches, the teams that he played against. These guys was like, yeah, this guy's a beast, man. We got to, give him some kudos that he's pretty good basketball. That's a lot. That means a lot, man. So salute to Julius Randle for getting this there. Also, I forgot about this last night, but we also have 2 players that's in the All-Star. So kudos to Quentin Grimes for giving him the acclimate to get there and be on that Rising Stars. Is Rising Stars the Rising Stars game? Another New York Knicks that's in the All-Star. So the Knicks are making moves right now, man. We got players that are playing at high levels. Making it to the All-Stars. Let's see what happens, man. I think we got a couple of players that can make it there. We may see a Brunson there and an RJ next year. Who knows what the cards may hold, but let's see what happens, man. We got a couple of guys that can make the All-Star team and are very effective players.
Yeah. Let me tell y'all something, man. All right, listen, Julius Randle, man, come on now. Y'all got whoever, not y'all. I'm not talking about y'all. I'm just saying in general, people who don't. They need to kill all that noise, man. Listen, man. This cat in 3 seasons putting up numbers like that, and the numbers he put up in that, and when he got to the All-Star the year before, most improved player. Listen to me, Julius Randle putting up MVP numbers. Julius Randle number 9th in the MVP voting right now in the NBA, according to certain, this cat. Mm-hmm. Listen, take Julius Randle off the Knicks. We'd be in a lottery. I'm real talk about hours. Take Julius Randle off the Knicks. Check it out. Out of all the players who went to the All-Star, out of all the people who made the All-Star team, starters and reserve, who's the only player who played all 53 games? Julius Randle. Out of all the cats. All them cats that's in that All-Star thing. Julius Randle, the only player who played all games and haven't missed none. His durability, his skill set, and I'm gonna tell you the best thing I seen last night. Shop. I just want to bring this to the right quick chat. Excuse me. When R.J. Barrett spent in that lane and got double teamed, he kicked it to Randle. Randle shot it to Grimes. That was the prettiest basketball I've seen for the Knicks in a long time. R.J. Barrett spent right there in the paint. I don't know, but Jimmy Butler. Yeah, Jimmy Butler came over to defend with Tyler Hero. Randle was right there on the basket. R.J. throws that ball to Randle. And you would think Randle was going to, and Randle kicked a beautiful cross-court pass to Quentin Grimes, and that's the one he knocked down in the corner. I think it put us up like maybe 5 or something, whatever. But that's Julius Randle right there. People they don't appreciate the way he assists the ball. Sometimes he's the best player. So obviously he's gonna be in that mode where I gotta do what I do to get this team rolling. But I think people gotta put respect on his name, man. I'm serious. That cat come play hard. He had granted mentally he does some things because in the heat of the moment or emotions or wasn't thinking.
Yeah, some
whatever.
foolish turnovers and stuff. Yeah, he does.
For that 5% negative, 95% negative is crazy positive. That's why I don't get the hate from him. Out of 100% of what Julius Randle do, 95% of it is good. That's why the coaches picked him. That cat really goes out there every night, man, and plays hard. It ain't too many cats getting 14 rebounds and 12 on a given night, 12 rebounds, 6'9", but he got good touch to the ball, and now, like you said, he playing more aggressive in the paint. Julius Randle is being Julius Randle, and I appreciate that for him, man. Real talk, man. That cat, him and Jalen Brunson and R.J. Barrett, ain't no mid in them boys, man. They can kill that mid nut. I bet you nobody was saying a mid player when he dropped 37 on the Lakers the other night. Jalen Brunson. These boys ain't mid, man. They not mid. They ain't superstar, but they not mid, though. And I think these cats can go out there against any team and give them the business any night if they bring their A games. I was happy to see that last night. The cats was in it, man. That was a big win for the Knicks, man. I don't know if people can really understand how big that was for them from a psychological standpoint, from a standard standpoint. How you gonna feel it if you think you're good enough to do this? I don't know if that's the mindset they have on that team, which I don't think they do. They're so resilient, but that was a big win for them in a lot of ways, man. To break a losing streak, to beat a good quality team who you chasing. That's saying you're a competitive team. Because you listen, these cats in front of us, we got to beat these boys. And they got that mentality, man. I like them boys, man. I like that peaks and valleys, like you say, Shop Hours. We up and down because of a lot of reasons. But for the most part, that team be bringing it, though. They bring it, man. Real talk. And short man it or not, can you imagine if Mitchell Robinson and Jalen Brunson was in that game last night? That might have been a blowout. Might have been a blowout, man. You know what I mean? So we'll see, man. But I like it, though. I'm happy with that. That Miami and Nick rivalry, man, that still lingers. It might not linger as much as it did in the 90s, but the average exposure know what Pat Riley went through. They know what because that's why they part of that family. So it's like what do you call it in West and what they used to say back in the Western movies, shoot the OK Corral, the blah 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 versus the blah blah blah. That's what that shit is about, man. So I was happy about it, though. Good win last night.
Yeah, man. Salute to the chat, man, for keeping it popping, man. I see y'all up in there, man. Smoking Nick, Almighty Finesse, man, child. I mean, as a Knicks fan, man, we go through a lot of stuff, man. And I know every Knicks fan might not admit it, but they want the Knicks to win every game. So when they do lose a game, they're really ready to, just trade everybody. You know what I mean? You see Julius Randle turn the ball over, or as in the last game, Julius Randle get the ball instead of giving it back to Brunson when he got the hot hand. He just scored like the last 5 points in the fourth quarter, and you get the ball and you don't give it back to him. Yeah, mental mistake. He should have gave it back, but he really likes throwing that ball to Quentin Grimes, man. And if Quentin Grimes can really start knocking some of these shots down, you'll see our assist numbers go up quick. He really looks for Quentin Grimes, man. I notice it a lot. He really makes the move, and this is how you know that's a good player. I mean, he's a great player, man. Every team double teams him. It's not a team that doesn't send a double team at him. It's not a team that doesn't send a double team at him. That means that you're a great player. You know what I mean? If you can put someone on him one-on-one and defend him, you have to send a double team to Julius Randle, that means that he's great, man. That means that he's a problem. So you have to send more than one player to try to contain him and hopes that he makes a mistake on the pass or rush the shot. And kudos to Randle for that, man. Like I always say, man, in the beginning of the year, I was ready for Randle to be out of here. Not per se for the way that he played basketball or his 2010 and 5. It was what the Knicks fan, how the Knicks fan was going to really get at him this year. And he has changed the mindset of all Knicks fans. Like I said, even this year, I done heard the MVP chants for Julius Randle. You know what I mean? It only was once, but this year, but once or twice. But it's back. It's back. Recognize that Julius Randle is our premier player, man, and he is really holding the team down, man. And he looks better this year. He had some. I think he had a 5, 6, 7 turnovers last night. He had a lot of turnovers last night, but majority of this year he has had his turnovers pretty low, 2 to 5, 2 to 3 to 5 or somewhere around there, way lower than he had it last year. And almost similar, way lower than since one of the lowest years this year, man. He's not turning the ball over that much because he doesn't have the ball in his hands as much. You know what I mean? Jalen Brunson is there, RJ is there, so now he doesn't have to. He brings the ball up the court sometimes to dribble the court, but it's not like he dribbles up the court and holds the ball for a whole 22 seconds and decides he wants to shoot the ball. He brings the ball up. He implements the offense. And RJ does it too. He gets the ball. Brunson does it. So it's not like sometimes like I said, he still does some. I don't want to call him boneheaded, but what I mean, he'll hold the ball and the double team will come to him, and he gets a little. Nobody moves to him, so he could pass the ball a little easier. So he makes the mistake, but that's what great players do.
Yeah, real talk. Listen. D-Rob put up a good chat. That's why I want to leave it up there. And I deal with D-Rob's almost 100%, man. Randle's skills and his price tag combo makes him untouchable in my book. Yeah, listen, Randle putting up numbers at 25 million or 20, whatever. That cat's getting 40 million putting up. And that's why I agree with D-Rob with that. For what he giving you for his money, all-star, in the MVP conversation, you know what I mean? The reason why the Knicks fans are chanting MVP Julius Randle, because he's in the MVP chant conversation. The cat is ninth. So I gotta understand why they say MVP Randle. Randle putting up MVP numbers. Here's the key part of it. His team is winning. That's what make him the team is winning, bro. You know what I mean? So winning cures everything, cures all. Right now, whether you like his game or not, what do you think the kid is boneheaded sometimes? Listen, how many players the Knicks had in the last 13 years other than Carmelo Anthony that took the Knicks to the playoffs 2 times in so many years? Think about that. The last time a player took the Knicks to the playoffs prior to Julius Randle was Carmelo Anthony. Am I right or wrong? They didn't because they missed the last. That was the last time they've been to the playoffs when Carmelo Anthony was here. And for Julius Randle to come here a year after that, get the Knicks to the playoffs with Tom Thibodeau. Think about that. 8, 9 years. And we get a cat come here who would want to be here and put up some good numbers since he's been here. Some of them, they might not have been the numbers he put up now, but there's a lot of reasons for that. You didn't have the right coach. You had Fizdale. You didn't have this guy. These cats is not Tom Thibodeau. And you heard the Julius Randle press conference today. He let Mr. Tibbs, help me get through. He haven't been nowhere in his career since Tibbs got to him. I think that's how would tell me that Julius Randle was a player who's looking to, obviously playing around the great Kobe Bryant for all them years, getting the mentorship from him. He just got to learn how to be a leader playing in New York, and I think he did a good job of that this year. I like the way he's giving kudos to the players when they do something, or he help a player when they don't do something. That's leadership, man. You know what I mean? I think he's doing that, so I'm gonna really feel good about Julius Randle move forward. The cat putting up numbers, man. He's well deserved to be an all-star. There's no question in my mind about that. And so we just got to keep going. But listen, I'm gonna tell you what's popular too. Everybody, let's get into it, man. We Knicks prevailed, but was it the trade deadline coming up? Everybody talking about the Kyrie Irving thing. That's the big buzz out there today. That's crazy, man. To see that cat ready to get up out of there. But that's crazy. But it's a lot of good things going on. Sadiq Bay noise. I don't know where the OG thing gonna stand or how long that might. Is that gonna be real? Shot Powell, I don't know. But you got a lot of guys out there that can fill a little void for the Knicks, man, to help Knicks fill a little void to make us better. If we're gonna move off of Cam Reddish, if we're gonna move off of Cam Reddish, like I always say, we can go out there and trademark and get somebody to fill that void at that 3 spot where RJ don't got to play that many minutes because of the depth right now, because of the injuries or whatever the case may be, and DNPs and all that stuff. But I think we just got to go out there and get one player, man, to fill that 3 spot for the Knicks. And I think we get that person there, and McBride or Obi them keep getting better toward the end of the season. I think we get if we get that 3 spot filled up for the New York Knicks, and let them cats like McBride and Obi them keep getting better every day. And by the end of the season, they done got their rhythm back, and now they feel a little bit more comfortable. And I think we got enough to roll out there and go to the playoffs, man. If you get somebody prominent, yeah, that's fine too. But I like this team, man. I like the way they fight and the way they get down. So I don't have a problem with whatever they do. But I do think they need to do something. Shot Powell, I think they need to get a player in here, man. That give us a little bit more fighting chance when we get in the playoffs. You know what I mean? So hopefully they go out there and make a move that will benefit the team moving forward, and we be ready to roll. And if we keep at the pace we're going right now.
Yeah, I'm looking. I've been doing some homework about the OG getting here and stuff like that, and I got a thing that I think can get him here. I don't know. It's going to be hard to get him here, man. We're going to have to give up some. I think they're going to want to allow for OG, but if possible, I would do for us to get OG Anunoby. I think we could do Cam Reddish, Evan Fournier, the Mavs 23 pick, the Detroit first round pick that is 18 protected, and our 24th first round pick for 23-24 season next year, not this year. You know what I mean? Instead of giving up the 23 pick this year, not because I think the Mavs pick will you'll be able to use that Mavs pick, and the Detroit pick maybe not, but 24 I would give the first round up. But I think they're gonna want 3 first round picks. I think they're going to want at least 2 unprotected from us. I think they're going to want IQ, Reddish, Obi. They're going to want names like that. And for this year, I'm not sure right now this trade deadline that I'm giving up IQ for OG. I hate to say it like that. OJ's a great player. He could probably fit right in on that wing spot, push Barrett back down to the second position. But I don't know if I'm ready to give up IQ. I don't think the New York Knicks want to give up IQ. I think IQ is here to stay. You know what I mean? I think IQ is here to stay, man. I think they're going to sign him to, unless somebody gives some. And we still got him for another year or so, you know what I mean, before we probably sign him with something this next year going in there. But I don't know if IQ is going anywhere, man. I think they'll trade Obi Toppin before they trade IQ, and Obi is an 8th round pick. You know what I mean? He's number 8, and and I think IQ was what 24th or something like that. Something like that. I think they'll let Obi Toppin go before they let IQ go.
Yeah, you can't let IQ and Grimes go. Like I was saying the other day, I think the next 2 Knicks that get signed to a 4-year extension will be Quentin Grimes and Emmanuel Quickly. I think the next 2 Knicks to get them numbers that Mitchell Robinson got, RJ got, Sims got his 4-year extension. I think Quentin Grimes and Emmanuel Quickly, if not from a talent perspective, they should be on the Knicks for a minute. This team is legit, bro. They 1 or 2 players away. You got to keep IQ. You got to keep Quentin Grimes. Them 2 players out of all these rookies we brought in here, them the 2 players I don't think the Knicks would trade.
I don't think they're going nowhere.
I don't think them 2 dudes. Obi can go. Sims can go. McBride, they can trade him, but I don't think they traded them 2 dudes though. I wouldn't even want to trade McBride if he keep doing what he's doing now. If McBride do what he's doing right now through the rest of the season, the game he had last night,
Yeah,
I'm good with him. We just need one player, Shot Power, one player at that small forward in the second unit. That one player keep that team solid in the second unit. Now you got McBride quickly, whoever gonna be at the 3, Obi and Harkenstein when Mitch get back. I depend on who that third player is. I think that's pretty solid. He just got to be the guy we thought Cam Reddish was gonna be there.
that's exactly what I was about to say, Divine.
Yeah, we just missing that dude. We missing that dude who Cam Reddish should have been for us at that 3 spot in the backup side. And unfortunately, because of whatever happened recently, I think that they're good though. I think they're pretty good, man. They're one play away, and I think in the trade, even with the Anunoby thing, you got to look at it from a lot of perspective. Yeah, if you put the right deal out there, you give them the picks that you think that's not going to capitalize that much right now. A lot of the Knicks picks ain't going to capitalize later on down the line. And they can get extended out for a couple of years or whatever. But I think they got to just do the right thing without messing up the infrastructure. You got a player out there that's going to help the Knicks in the playoffs this year. It's not going to mess with the infrastructure moving forward, like we always say. Not messing with the cap situation moving next year, because whoever you bring in, either you're going to keep him for a couple of years or just bring him in for this year. You bring him in for this year and to get to the playoffs, and then if he pops for you and you think he can be long term, then you sign him in the off season. And if not, then you let him walk. Just let him walk. Just let the man walk. But what he did do, he helped get it out of the second round or close in the second round and lose the second round. If the Knicks get to the second round this year and lose, I'm happy, because I know the next year they're gonna have the off-season moves to make, and a contract, the guarantees that's done. Derrick Rose money going away, Cam Reddish money going away. You can move Fournier's money if they only have 1 year left with a player option, with a team option. So you still got capital to go out there and get a big dog if that's what you wanted to do after this year. I think this team is in a good place, man. Let's see how it goes. I'm gonna keep my eye on the Knicks, man. First thing first, we gotta take care of business, as we do, man, and go out there and win some games. We gotta go out there and keep winning games. We right there in striking distance, man. And I'm happy with the way this team playing right now, man. I believe in these guys since day one. Once we brought Jalen Brunson on the board, I know it was over. Now you got a Knicks team that got a real, true point guard. Not nobody you had to throw in there because he was combo. Not somebody you would have thrown in there because your other guy, Jalen Brunson, is the real deal, man. The cat been winning ball since he was in high school. Everywhere he go, he winning. And what's the Knicks doing right now? He came this year, they winning. He a winner, man. He a winning ball player. As a Villanova, no matter what it was, Jay Wright winner, high school winner, come to the pros, Western Conference Finals last year with Luka, even when Luka wasn't even really, he was out a lot of games. He come to New York with almost the same team we had last year, except for with the acquisition of Harkenstein, and look where the Knicks is at. Think about that. He came, other than we losing the Burks of the world and Kemba and them, which he didn't play anyway, but he still came here with almost pretty much the same team that we had. And the cat him and Randall got a 3 games over 500, 1 game out of the 6th spot, and he balled his butt off. It should have been an all-star. Can't ask for no more. That was one of the best moves of the year, man. You ask me. So I'm happy with these guys, man. I like where they going, Shot Powers. We need that player, man. There's got to be somebody out there that might just help make that bench a little stronger. And we see where it goes, man. See how it goes. See how these cats they get there to the playoff. But I do like where we at with these guys, man. We playing hard, and we in it to win it, man. Let's go get it, and let's see if we can get it popping the next couple of days. Big game tomorrow against the Clippers. Kawhi and Paul George and Reggie Jackson and all these cats, and Moot Morris coming up in the building. There's some rough riders over there, man. Them boys go hard, man. Them boys go hard. So it'll be a fun game tomorrow, man. Them boys go hard. I want to see what they do. Let's go and get it popping, New York.
Yeah, that's what it is, man. I'm going to salute out the chat one more time, man, to Raymond, D. Ross, Man Chow, Smoking Nick, New York City, B Baller. You know what I mean? Thank you guys for coming in here and spending some time with us, man. Keith Turner, as always, my man, was good. You know what I mean? Thank you for coming in, sharing a little bit of time with us. That's to sit here and pop junk and talk about the team that we love. You know what I mean? So with that being said, man, tomorrow's game is a rough game. We'll talk more about it tomorrow, but that team right there, man, they got some some pedigree players on there, man, and all the thing we got to do is go out there and play some basketball, man. They're playing that. They're coming to New York, so We need as many wins as we can in New York, man. We need as many games to win at New York as possible. I hope for us to at least to be 500 at at the end of the season at home. I mean that's one thing that the Knicks are going to have to strive better to try to do. But that's what we need. We need more consistent, more consistency at the Garden, man. We need to win more games at the Garden next year coming. But that team coming in here tomorrow, man, is going to be something to watch, man. And we're going to really have to go out there and really like bully ball, man. We're going to have to go down there. RJ's going to have to step up. Randall's going to have to step up. Hardenstein, the whole crew, man. Everybody's got to chip in. A game like we had yesterday would help us tomorrow against this team right here, man. Some good defense, and see what we can pull out of it.
Okay, hey, NYC B-ball. Hey, Harkenstein probably listen. You ain't want to give me no money. Payback. So that was a good chat right there. NYC. Hart, I don't want to show up tomorrow. He don't want to show up tomorrow. Listen, y'all need me right now. You probably tell them the Clippers. I Hart probably go out there tonight and him and get Zubac. It's gonna be on the pop. That's gonna be fun, man. Like I said, D-Rod said 4-0 run coming. Hey, D-Rod, I'd love to see that because I'm gonna tell you why. Boy, the Knicks got this thing going the right way. Listen here, let's put this out there in perspective. And let me throw this up there. And we talked about that earlier. Check this out right here. This is why these games mean something. What's going on on the doctor tonight? Obviously, Celtics and the Suns beating the Celtics real quick. The Raptors beating the Rockets. Hopefully, they can turn that game around. The Wizards got the about 3. Hope the Trailblazers win that. Kings and the Pacers is a good game right there. 3 points down. Pistons, Hornets beating the Pistons. That's the Wayamba game right there. Them two tanking. Celtics doing what they do. Spurs and the game right there. I want to see is a big game right here. The Jazz and the Hawks tonight. The Hawks right behind us. They need to take an L. But look at this thing here tomorrow. This was interesting. That's why I want to put this out there, everybody. The Nets and the Wizards. The Nets is real with the Kyrie. They can lose that. Obviously, our game is big, right? Here's the game right here. Right here. That's the game tomorrow. Right there. Bucks and Heat. Knicks win tomorrow. Bucks beat the Heat. Right there, tied with Miami. Now, I don't know if we go ahead because we beat them head to head. I don't know how that worked with the conference thing. But then the Hawks on the back-to-back. They got the Nuggets in. That's going to be an L right there. They got the Nuggets tomorrow coming off a back-to-back in Denver. That's why these games is big for the Knicks, man. If the Wizards beat the Nets we done dropped the 22 wins now with the Kyrie noise. There ain't nothing but a bunch of gonna be driving folks crazy. So I think it's important, man, that we keep our eye on the prize, man. Knicks got some games coming up, man, and like I said, that game right there, that Heat and Buck game tomorrow, that's gonna be a big game, man. I mean, real talk, and I hope the Knicks come out there tomorrow in the Garden and can beat these Clippers, man, and get us a win out here in the Garden. And we'd be okay, Shop Howard. So this thing gonna be pretty big. But listen, before my brother Shop Howard get, let me bring my man in. Smoking Nick, what's popping?
Salute to y'all beautiful brothers, man. How y'all doing tonight?
Good, man. Long time, brother. Been a couple of years, but you still out here though.
Yeah, we working.
That's what's up. Man, what do you think about that squad we got going on right now, man?
Yo, man, I thought Brunson did get snubbed, fam.
He did. I think so too.
Yeah, I thought it was a snub because like I get that we not like 10 games above 500 and we back and forth, but it's been mostly positive. We mostly competitive. You feel me? We not getting blown out every night. Mm-hmm. It's a lot to talk about. So, we can nitpick about every little thing that's going on because, we actually been getting good basketball, right? So now we've become fancy basketball pinky players. If you know what I mean? Now we got standards, right? When the last 20 years, we know how it's been going, right? We ain't even been able to stand on the ledge we standing on now, right? So that's another story. All I'm saying is instead of always be, and I'm not talking about y'all fellas, or I ain't have no agenda or nothing like that. I'm just saying we have been competitive the last 3 years.
Yeah, facts.
Right? And we've had Randall and RJ for 4 years, right? The first year they figured it out, the battle went on, whatever the case may be. At this particular time, I'm happy, right? Do I think that we should have 2 All-Stars? Yes, I do. But do I think Brunson was going to go over Randall? No, I don't. I thought Randall was the clear cut. He averaged 25 and damn near 12 rebounds. And, you know, he limited his assists, right? He stopped because he ain't holding the ball, as y'all said earlier, as much as he did before, stuff like that, right? He ain't got the ball as much as he did before, so. But I'm impressed, man. I just feel like like you said, we probably need one more guy to give him that help. And, you know what I mean?
Yeah, real talk. I think, man, for them to come together right now, Shy Powers, to come together with the squad they got, man. Jalen Brunson, they haven't only been here 50-something games and missed several games because of injury. And still, they haven't. I think their chemistry is starting to grow, but I still don't think it's reached its max yet. But what I did see last night, like I told you about that play when RJ spent in the lane, shot that ball to Randall kicked that ball to the grinds in the corner. I like that's what I've been looking for, and I think they're starting to get it. So I do think this team is gelling at the right time, and they've been through a lot of adversity. This team been through adversity. Mitchell Robinson 2 times been out, Grimes been out, Brunson been out, RJ been out. The only one that hasn't been out is Randall.
They gotta learn how to win those tough games, Devon. They gotta learn how to win those scrums, right? You know, we could nitpick them making mistakes at the end of games, but we could also do the same thing for other teams. In every quarter, they're going to do stuff that we don't like. You feel what I'm saying? A game doesn't go perfectly. These dudes ain't robots. They're human beings, and they get paid to play the game. So they don't really have to focus on anything else. This is why we expect so much, right? But you still got to understand that sometimes it ain't your night or sometimes that ain't your moment. You know what I mean?
Facts.
Yeah, that smoking Nick, that is so true, man. Because you know, some nights you'll get Juice Randle hitting eight 3-pointers and shooting 11, and some nights you'll get Juice Randle shoot 8 3-pointers and hit 1. And I mean, everybody, you know, every night is not going to be the night from before, and we go through it all the time. That's why I'm glad that we do have 3 players on the team. I mean, we have a couple of players that could go out there every night and score 20 points, but consistently we have Brunson, RJ, and Randall that goes out there and battle.
It's really more Brunson and Randall and Brunson, and RJ gets drugged along, right?
It is, because with them 2 guys, you ain't lying. With those 2 guys out there, they do control the ball a lot. But Brunson, I mean, RJ has made some major moves this year. He's not he's still 20.4 something like that. He's almost 21 points a game this year. You know, I mean, he still, when he gets in there with that second unit, he really takes over, man.
He has moments. I won't even lie. He reminds me of second year RJ. Second year RJ had a lot of heart, and I like second year RJ. Second year RJ had so much heart. You know what I mean? I ended up buying his jersey. And
every year he's getting better. This year, if you look at you know, it's the small things with RJ too, man.
No, I agree with you, Sha.
Yeah, no, he's increasing his free throws now. He's looking better, you know, getting, like I said, he's instead of having his arm bent with that layup now, he's extending that arm so he gets that foul call a little bit more. So we got a good team, and I think this team is going to really surprise some people with these last 39 games coming along.
I agree that the dog is in RJ Barrett, right? I would never say that RJ's not a dog. That'd be a lie, right? Because if you shoot as much as you shoot and miss as much as you miss and continue to do the stuff that you do, you know the dog is in you, because you don't care what nobody think, right? You're going to figure it out. So the dog is in RJ. I've always noticed the dog in him. Mm-hmm. But once he gets his consistency up, which you learn, he's still young. I give people that, like, you know, I get it, right? We're not all a phenomenon from the moment we get out of bed and it just worked for us. Some of us have to learn how to be a phenomenon and step into those shoes that people put us in, right? So I understand that he has to grow into it, like y'all said earlier, grow into his body, get a little more physical, learn how to. But he's been showing, I wouldn't say glimpses, a lot more signs this year of being able, like last game, he had food on the table and he just was like, I'm gonna eat. And I was like, see, that's what I'm talking about. You gotta start getting that attitude, like, this is food, it's time to eat, right? Barbecue chicken, as Shaq would say.
Yeah, real talk. You know what's interesting to me to sum all that up? Salute to Tom Thibodeau knowing that he's not going to get the shots he would normally get because we brought Brunson aboard. So he puts him in there with the second unit to get him. Now he becomes that main dude there. So
but
now
the problem with that,
earlier
this season, is he was getting a lot of open opportunities and just missing them, right?
I agree. Let me finish my point, Smoking, real quick.
Go ahead.
What I'm saying is, when you got two dominant ball handlers like Randall and Brunson, from a rhythm standpoint, not because he want to get his touches, it's like sometimes when a point guard will throw you the ball at a certain spot, I'm going to hit you. I'm ready to let it go. With Brunson, because he's a think first shooter, he's a shooter first shot, a scorer first shot power. His mindset is not to look for RJ off the door. His mindset is to go get a point, and if RJ's open, then you throw it to him. That's how him and Randall operate. But what I give this is where I give RJ Barrett credit. Everybody got to understand he did not come into the league as a shooter. That was his Achilles heel coming out of Duke. He was shoot, right?
Always bully ball.
Yeah, his game was up and down transition, but he did work on his game when he got to the NBA, and that's what I respect RJ because, like I said, he's a worker. He's a worker, and he's 22 years old. And it's not about because he's 22. But he doing things at 22. We got cats in the NBA at 29 and 30 ain't even doing it. The cat putting up 20 points a game for the New York Knicks every night. I don't care about the percentage. He gonna have off nights and good nights. The man putting up 20 points a game, 6 rebounds, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. When he on the defense, the defense is on. When he on. So can you imagine RJ Barrett 4 years from now? He done learned all the nuances of the NBA. He's still a puppy in the game to me. This is his fourth year.
He is still a puppy, but
what I mean is for somebody who can't shoot, like who didn't know how to shoot coming out of college. He's not Devin Booker. He's not all these guys who can just straight up. He's not even Julius Randle. But the cat got a part of his game that a lot of these other cats who do that can't do. That boy go down here with a shot power. He banged with the best of them at 22 years old. I think in the next 2 years you're gonna see something crazy from RJ Barrett because he's just still growing.
4 years. 4 years is a long timeline, right? I'm not saying that I don't agree that he won't be great in 4 years. I do see the dog and I do see the potential in him, right? And really hitting that jump shot is just confidence. He just needs to get a little more confidence in the shot, and then it'll go in a lot more, right? His confidence is getting there where he wants to take it, but it's not there to the point to where he know he gonna make it, right? It's a big difference. So I agree with you that the potential is there because he's taking the shots, he's putting himself in the positions for later in life when those same positions come up, he'll be ready for them.
Yep,
I agree with that.
Yeah, let me sum this up in a good way for everybody. New York Knicks gave RJ Barrett $120 million. I don't care what
they gave him the most out of all 3 players.
Listen, so we could critique RJ's game on this chat and in this panel up and down all day. That's what we do. The New York Knicks get that man $120 million because they believe in what he could do. You don't give nobody that type of money. You didn't really think he was worth it. RJ Barrett is worth his money, and he only 22. He worth his money. No, listen, he's been in the league. This is 4th year. He can go to 2 playoffs.
Yeah,
top powers.
Yeah. Well,
playoff.
I don't want to push back. I'm just saying, like, he is definitely a factor, right? And matter of fact, he is what they would call the X factor.
Exactly.
Because
exactly.
He is what they call an X factor because if Brunson and Randall decide they want to have a bad night, he is the guy that we are looking at to be the key. to help them out when they're struggling or they're sick and he is really the key, right? So I understand what he could be in 4 years, but I also understand or overstand what was pitched to me, what we should expect from him, right? So his job has gotten a lot easier, right? And when your job gets a lot easier, I expect more from you, right? I expect more performances like last night because you've been getting, like I'm always say it's just how I feel. He's been getting drugged this season. He's been allowed to, at which I respectfully, he didn't have like as long as a bad stretch as he did last year. I watched every single game this year. So I got a perspective that y'all probably have because y'all watch this every game as well as I have, right? So I knew that the first month he was okay, but December, he had a great December before he lacerated his finger. I'm not going to lie. His December was great. Before Christmas, New Year, I was hyped. Then he hurt his finger. And then, right before Brunson came back, him and Randall was holding it down. You feel me? Because they're the OGs. They're the ones they the day ones, right? Mm-hmm. The year he got drafted, Randall came. So they the day one. So I got a lot of respect for RJ. So this is why I hold him to such a high standard. I need to see more because forget you being a third pick. I just need to see more because you say you want to show more. So I need to see more.
I personally, I think he's good. I think it's a lot of variables that go in the RJ game. Like you said, RJ playing in NBA with in the last 2-3 years, he been playing with ball first, scoring point guard, dominant point guard, D Rose, Kemba Walker. He
started with Alfred.
Not Alfred. Alfred was a kind of a
the first 2 years was Alfred.
Yeah, I know that, but I'm saying as of right now, but Alfred, even though he's Alfred's not the creme de la creme in the top 15 point guard of the NBA. But I'm saying that you can't compare Alfred Payton to an average point guard or above average point guard. That's what. So that's still an effect because even though it was Alfred Payton is he's not one of those guys who gonna get you the ball constantly. He's a good facilitator, especially in the open court. But I think you talking about a level. That's why he in the G League sometimes. That's why he in the bench not playing for nobody. He's up for Payton. You know what I mean? That ain't Damian Lillard. That ain't even Holiday.
No, that's not what I wasn't comparing them to that.
I know that.
What I was saying is
that makes it different. Why RJ game? Remember this here. When you come in the league as a rookie, the third pick, normally.
RJ played good with Alfred that second year.
I know, but hear me out though. This is what I'm really trying to make a point about RJ's career. When you come in the league as a number 3 pick, normally your team is at the bottom. You know what I mean? Shot power, like what they tanked to get you. You was in a lottery, right? So that's why they got you. Well, the Knicks did that, but also they brought in Mook Morris, they brought in Randall, they brought in Bobby Portis, they brought in a lot of players that took the time away from his growth and development, like they did Kevin Knox. You know, when Steve Mills went away from the rebuild, it kind of threw like John Morant got given the keys.
I see what you're saying.
A lot of players in that level get given the keys to run their organization.
But you said it earlier. Or you said it, or either Shaw Power said it. If we didn't have Julius Randle, you just said something, right? They brought in Mook, Maurice Morris. When they brought in Bobby Portis, that's called the power forward battle, right? Like we could just put it in the sense of football, right? That's a depth chart. They brought in a competition, and they would say we're gonna keep the best power forward at this position, right? They chose Randall out of Bobby Portis and Maurice Morris, right? That to grow with RJ. This is what they were. It's a method to the madness that they had, but we don't talk about stuff like that. We just skip it over, right? But so, boom. Once they established that, all right, Randall is the power forward that we're gonna pick to grow with RJ, right? They played that first season. People didn't like Randall's spin move, always making the Randall spin move. That first year was the context. Second year, boom, 24 and 10. Right? All-star. playoff game. RJ was balling that year. And all he had to do was hit the corner three, right? That's all he had to do was hit the corner three consistently and drive and get the fouls that you normally gonna get. And he's shooting 80%. He way better now.
Way better.
Yeah.
Right when he was shooting 72, 74% now. Now he actually now he ain't scared of the moment. Right? Because last year he got away clean. The robbery was easy and no charges was filed.
Yeah, real talk.
Yeah, I feel exactly what you're talking about and stuff like that, man. I think we all say it, man, about RJ and his age all the time, about him being 22, and we compare RJ to players that are older than him, that have been in the league a little bit longer than RJ's been in there. And I believe with the same amount of time, if you compare those players, stat wise for the last amount of years that they both been in the league together, RJ is really out there, man. RJ is really doing good. Yes, he does have some bad percentage nights, man. They are some ugly 20-point games that he comes out there and do, but he stays consistent. he may have bad percentages. Some things that I say about how we need to play defense against certain guys is make their percentage bad. They make a score their average for the night, but if we make the percentage bad, it helps the team. But what we also need to do is RJ needs to have a better. He needs to get the ball a little bit more and make better decisions. And in time, I believe he will definitely do that, man. He's still really learning the game, man. And this is his first year. This is his real first year with Brunson. And I mean, I think as they get a little bit more paired together, I think that'll be great.
Yeah. For me, that's the make clarification. The reason why I brought up what RJ did in the first 4 years, think about this here. It wasn't so much now. It wasn't only about the position. It's about what position you're going to be in. Like Randall and Mook Morris. Mook Morris was averaging 19 a game that year when he came to the Knicks with Randall. Randall was averaging almost 19. So that's where the majority of the dominant of the ball was with Mook Morris and Randall. It didn't matter to me. It's who getting the touches from RJ. Though RJ might have got just about the same amount of touches they did, but he was a rookie coming into the NBA with two dudes in front of him. That's predominantly the ones who are going to run the operation. See, but hold on for a minute. Excuse me. We don't.
No, you're good.
John Morant didn't come in the building like that. Zion didn't come in the building like that. A lot of them rookies didn't come in the building like that with people who is much better than them already established. Because, like I said, normally when you're a third team in the NBA lottery, you normally a tanking team. You trying to rebuild because that's why you in the third spot. Because you lost so many games, the team was so bad that you had to get a high draft pick. So he already came into the situation in a bad situation because he was going to take a team. That's why I know they had to spend the money. But I thought when they brought in Mook Morris or Randall, it's stunning his growth because he didn't have a chance to make errors, have a bad game, or just totally learn off your mistakes and learn on the fly. He was thrown right in there with a bunch of wolves. And I think, but for what RJ did in the first year, second year, third year, fourth year, the cat. Listen, put like this. I make it. Out of everybody got drafted in RJ's draft, how many of them they're putting up RJ numbers? Out of everybody in the draft that RJ came
can I push back just a little bit?
If you need to,
respectfully, no BS. Respectfully, I feel like you're right. He did get thrown in there with wolves fighting for meat, right? I agree with that, but I also watched RJ first year play point guard with Fizdale, right? Get moved to 2 guard, second year with Thibodeau, then get moved to the 3 guard in the second year with Thibodeau. So in his first year, Fizdale did everything he could do to cater to RJ, right? What was the name that they called everybody? The Fizz Kids? Right, all these grown men was called Fizz Kids, right? And I get that he's 22, but he a professional and he got a job to do. And his growth. That's all I'm saying. And has he grown since he's been under Thibodeau? Yes. I like RJ's game. all he needs to learn is consistency in moments and picking and choosing and stop being as tunnel visiony, right? I don't my critiques of RJ is not as critical as it was 2 years ago because I understand. Like I used to kill him. I'm not even killing him this year. I used to kill him. First 2 years, Vine, I killed him. I'm very nice to RJ now, right? Very, very nice. But all I'm saying is that he's had a lot of opportunities. You started at point guard with David Fizdale, then you got moved to 2, then you got moved to 3. So to say he ain't got these opportunities to bring it back and surface on the point that I was trying to make, I don't think like, can he grow in the future? Yes, but yes, he's gotten a lot of opportunities, Vaughn.
He's been here, but I understand it's not about the opportunity. Even though you got, I'm not arguing with you. I'm just trying to say we got to make sure all the variables is in here. Even though you got opportunity, that don't mean the opportunity that you got was the best opportunity. If you get everybody get opportunity, but that don't mean that the situation he was put in was the best opportunity for his growth. Mook Morris and Randall was not the best opportunity for RJ growth because he did not learn. He didn't have to stop out. That's what I'm trying to say. He didn't have to get put in a clutch situation to be the man because we already had Randall and Mook Morris. You understand what I'm saying? Like the pressure wasn't on him. RJ didn't have no pressure in his rookie year because he's supposed to be, he was 18 years old. He's supposed to make mistakes. You know, that's which he wasn't allowed. Listen, because the Knicks tried to go make a playoff team out of that team to get better and go to the playoffs. He didn't have an opportunity to make mistakes without saying, you know what, the coach going to do this to me, or he's going to snatch me out, or you're not playing, and I got to sit you down because the Knicks was trying to win games. So I think a lot of that might have had to do with the stunt in his growth because they took the ball out of his hand when he needed the ball in his hand to do certain things. Granted, we know he played point guard. Fizdale, where's Fizdale at right now?
Fizdale catered to him though.
But this is what I'm trying to say. Fizdale right now is not even a coach in the NBA.
All right, you may be right. We knew he was.
He's not even a coach in the NBA right now. RJ came into the league with a coach that's not even coaching right now. That's only
what I'm saying is. It's still right. Even though that man might not be a coach in the NBA, that man play him at point guard, shooting guard, right? And then the next year, Thibodeau put him at 2 guard the whole season. He didn't switch his decision. Then the next year, he put him at small forward and chose Grimes to be the 2 because he realized, even though if RJ shot better, he could play 2. Because that's his natural position. He needs the ball in his hand, and he could create for himself. He just needs to shoot better.
Yeah, I understand that. But listen, with Ben Simmons, what's Ben Simmons' position, Shot Powell? With Ben Simmons,
you muted, bro.
What's you muted? You muted.
Oh, Ben Simmons' position is the bench. That's what he's doing right now. But he has been labeled as a shooting guard. As point a small forward,
point guard,
right? Point guard.
You comparing Ben Simmons to RJ?
No, I'm not. Listen.
You do that's what you're doing.
I'm trying to make a point. What I'm trying to make a point is Ben Simmons can't even shoot, but he still plays productive basketball in the NBA as an all-star because it ain't all about shooting. Everything is not about shooting. Everybody can't shoot. That don't mean you're not a dominant basketball player.
Ben Simmons all-star days in the league.
I don't care if it's anyway. I'm just using him as an example as comparison. I'm not talking. It doesn't matter. It's guys in the league who can't shoot have went on to been Hall of Famers. Let's not.
Yeah, but they was good at particular things, Vine. Hold on, let me push back. Good at particular things, Vine.
But what I'm saying is, but you're not letting me finish my point before I can
go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's why. Listen, now you see why this real talk. We don't get the debating thing going on because this is not what we do. Me and Shop Powell do not be on this thing debating like this. This is not what our show is about. We try to have competitive dialogue. One, respect each other's time. Let me say what I got to say. Then you say what you got to say. When everybody cutting each other in, it sounds like we're here arguing. That's not Knicks Real Talk platform. We respectfully let each other talk what they got to say, and then we pass it to the next man and keep this thing with a good structure. But we don't feel like we're here fighting on a YouTube channel. That's not what we do here. We don't do that here. So all I'm trying to say is we let everybody get their point across, then everybody go with the good one. See, because now everybody listen. Man, I'm listening to these cats on this thing arguing. That's not my brand, but my brand don't get down like that. I'm being.
I don't want to argue.
Just let's let each other talk it out, and then you can speak long as you want to, and I'll sit there and listen till you finish, and I won't interrupt you. But what I'm saying is, I was trying to make a comparison with RJ Barrett for we knew he came into the league not a good shooter. We understand when the Knicks drafted him at 3, what was RJ's weakness? He was a good shooter. But what did RJ do? He did a lot of other things well that got him to be the number 3rd pick in the NBA. He wasn't the 3rd pick because he was a slouch. You know what I mean? And the cat, every year he putting up the numbers. He's showing and proving that this is what I do. And I think that we got to get a man more credit. He playing in New York City. He got ball dominant people around like RJ and Randall and them cats put together. Man, he got us in the 7th spot in the NBA right now. And I think RJ Barrett game is going to be fine. He's 22. By the time he get Randall's age, he's going to be able to put more weapons to his game. Shot probably going to be got more experience at playing basketball, understanding the NBA to the fullest. Everybody don't peak the same way. Everybody don't peak at the same time. Some people peak young, some people peak older. But make no mistake about it, RJ Barrett game will be all-star. I think we went from the acquisition of Brunson this year, he probably had a chick. I think he would have had more opportunity for us to get in the flow of the game with rhythm. You see what he did last night, because he had flow of the rhythm of the game. I think RJ Barrett is good, man. Like I said, I think the Knicks wouldn't have gave that man $120 million. They didn't think he was going to help that team get to where they needed to go with maybe a bunch of other players. He's just a piece of cog in the wheel. Randall is the man. Brunson is the main guy from a scoring standpoint. But there's a lot of things that RJ can do that them cats might not do. So I think it all blends well, and I ain't got no problem with my man RJ. RJ, man, he is what it is. We drafted him, man. We paid him. He's paying dividends for the New York Knicks. He been here 4 years, 2 years. He been in the playoffs. There's a lot of cats who got drafted in the NBA where their team ain't even been in the playoffs. Already been here this is his 4th year, and already this might be the 2nd time in his career already he's been to the playoffs. And he got a lot to do with that, because in the first playoff, he was the 2nd highest scorer on his team when they got to the playoffs. Randall was scoring 20 a game, 24. RJ was 17. When we got to the playoffs, Derrick Rose came in and helped them do what they had to do. So he played a big part in the Knicks from day one. This man's career is on a high trajectory. RJ Barrett, by the time he get 26 years old, going to be a problem, because he got it in him to do what he do. Now, I think it showed the proof. He got more wins in the Knicks uniform than losses. Let me put it that way. He's a winning player. Ever since he's been here, other than his first rookie year, that was a disaster because of the way they did it. But since Thibodeau got here, his record is winning, shot power. He's a winning ball player. Regardless of what he might do, the numbers don't lie. RJ Barrett right now for the New York Knicks, been in the playoffs, going to be his 2nd year going to the playoffs in 4 years. That's impressive. But a lot of people don't do that in his situation, shot powers.
Yes, salute to the chat once again. Good to see you, Tyrone, up in the chat. Thank you for coming in. Everybody in the chat, if you haven't done it, please hit those like buttons. Try to help us out here. Get that, how they say, the algorithm out in the world, so we can get some more people in here, so we can talk some of this real Nick talk that we always talk. Salute to the chat. Yeah, man. I'm just happy about what the team is doing, man. And everybody beats up on Tibbs a little bit about how he uses the team. And yeah, sometimes I notice as I watch how Tibbs coaches, he plays his players that he trusts, and that's the bottom line. And the guys that he trusts is the guys that he play, and majority of the time you see the guys that he trusts have 35 minutes plus on the team every night. You know what I mean? And we all, as Knicks fans, we all nitpick at anything. When Julius Randle wasn't having a good year, we went through a 5-game loser streak with Tom Thibodeau last year. We couldn't get things together because of COVID and everything like that. The year before, we made it to the playoffs and got knocked out in the first round, and so on and so forth. And so far, so good, I believe, since this Tom Thibodeau has been here and the front office has been here under Leon Rose. We have 11 first-round picks, and we have 10 second-round picks. You know what I mean? We have about $8-10 million in the bank that we can still use, and we have a couple of 1 or 2 aspiring contracts, or 2 aspiring contracts, and maybe one that we can move in the off season. So I think the Knicks are set up for the 23 right now, man. And I think we have play out this year, build these guys' stocks up this year, see how good we play, because we're looking at a team right now that we may not see some of these players on this team next year, and see how we can really strengthen this team up, man. I think in the next couple of years, we only need a player or two. You know what I mean? Maybe that OG Abenobi may come through. Maybe we might look at a Sadiq Bey. Maybe we can get a Trent Jr. in here, or some of those names that I wouldn't even be opposed to seeing the trade that was out there for Reddish for Granison. What's the little guy? Yeah, you know what I mean. So from the Mavericks and stuff, you know what I mean. I wouldn't be opposed to seeing something like that. But what we really do have to do is strengthen up that second unit to try to get us a little stronger. Maybe we can make a push to get out of that first round this year, something like that. The main focus for me this year is for the Knicks to make the playoffs, to play some good defense this year, and hopefully that we can make it out of the first round. If we do all of those things this year, I'm happy. Yeah, I'm gonna feel like the Giants. The Giants didn't take it all the way to the mountaintop, but they sure tried to get there this year. So if I want the team to be good, I want us to be a better team. I want us to get out there and people really know when you're going to play the New York Knicks, you're going to have a hard battle coming down the line. And eventually we will get there, man. I think in the next couple of years, with Tibbs or without Tibbs, I think I think we have a good team right here, man. We just need to strengthen up. And because the one thing that I want the Knicks to be, I want them to be the name for the Knicks to be perennial. I want us to, when you talk about the Eastern Conference, I want you to know, the Knicks are going to be there somewhere 1 through 6 next year. So we got to gear up to play the Knicks every year. That's what I want us to be, back like semi of in the 90s, how we used to be every year. You knew the Knicks was going to be there. The Knicks was going to be there. The Knicks was going to be there. That's what I want us to be. I want us to be good so we can become better and so we could get great. The next couple of years, I think we could shoot forward. And, like I said, a lot of these older players are going to be out of here in a couple of years, man. The LeBrons, the LeBrons, the Westbrooks, all these guys in a couple of years, it's going to be a couple players that's not going to be here in 2 or 3 years. So if we could get a little stronger by 25, 26, maybe we can ring some bells and really, really try to propel this team to be perennial again. I just want them to be good this year. I started out this year wanting us to be somewhere 5 games better than we did last year, to be about a 42 win team. If we hit a hot spot and we got real hot, I thought we could get as high as maybe 47, and I still think that we could do that.
Hey, Smoking, real quick. Give me your thoughts on do you think the Knicks gonna do something at the deadline, number one, and do you think we're a playoff team?
Well, I agree. I'll start with this. I love your energy. You was already speaking that we was already in the sense that we was already a playoff team, right? You was already speaking in the future tense that we already made this second playoff with RJ. So I'm gonna agree with you right there. Bang, right?
Okay.
So we're just gonna knock that out. I do think we a playoff team with Brunson, RJ coming along, and Julius 2-time Randle. Put some respect on my name.
Right.
Yes, it's gonna happen, right?
Real talk.
That's my mantra for him. So
okay.
People think I be talking about myself, but I'm not.
I feel you on that.
And then what was the other question?
Do you think we're gonna do something at the trading deadline, or who you got your eyes on that you think the Knicks might want to?
Who do I have my eyes on? I would prefer a Gary Trent because you could get the defense and a little more threes, and he's a little more like available. He's not as injury prone. So
he fits the timeline
because he gets hot enough to where you at least see him on ESPN, right? So that means he's making some type of noise, right? We wouldn't know his name. And I get OG is like a quasi Kawhi, but not yet, right? I get that. So I get why people want OG, but I would prefer a Gary Trent if I have my eye on anybody. Do I think we're going to make a move? I hope, right? Like literally, like I'm praying to the old gods, right? over
Right.
10
For real.
right? But
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. This front office, they very like hit or miss for me.
Mm-hmm.
So you know what I mean? They make a lot of bad decisions, but they good at recovering on the bad decisions that they make, right? Like getting Kemba and then getting rid of Kemba and getting Brunson the next year, right? That could not have happened, but it did happen. So we lucky. So, you know, I'm going to continue to pray to old gods on that. But all I'm saying is that I would love if they did a move, if we got Gary Trent or OG, I'll be happy either way. But I don't know. I'm going to be 100%. I don't know. I don't.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it really is speculated, but I'm with you on the Gary Trent thing, though. Gary Trent, and even if I would do the Anunoby thing, if I think that the Knicks going to extend him, if they extend him, I'll do the. Now, I don't want to give up them draft picks. If you're going after this year, you're going to let him walk because he's going to be a free agent or whatever in a year or two. I don't want to do that. But if they feel like he can make, I believe Anunoby can make this team. He got the right basketball mindset. He's that guy I was telling Sean them that could play the Durant's of the world, play the LeBrons of the world, play them guys that we don't got guys who could play them guys. That's why I want him down here because his size, his skills, he got enough size to play the LeBron, to play the state like Randall and them and RJ. RJ can't stay with LeBron right now in his age and the KDs of the world. But I think Anunoby can though. That's why I like him.
So I got a question. So you think OG can guard the number ones, right? And which Grimes has been doing. He's been guarding the best guards, right? And he ain't just been guarding the best guards. He's actually been doing a great job at it as well, right? Yes, so when people be like, oh, he don't score enough. Well, he ain't scoring at this particular moment. If we're going to say RJ's young, right? This is Grimes' second year. He guarded number ones and number twos in the NBA, right? And half damn near locking them up, right? Because it's the NBA and you're going to get opportunities to get your stuff off and they moving at a God speed. So, you know what I mean? The tattoo on Derrick Rose neck, Godspeed. You don't know nothing about that. But so you're going to get points. That's not the point, what I'm making. The point is that some of these dudes, sorry, excuse me. The point is that I'm trying to make is that at this particular point, the team as a whole, we are exactly where we need to be, right? We're not like we're creeping, Vine and Shaw, like we're creeping, right? We don't need to be so high where we're a target or so low where we're not respected. And I get it. We lost a couple games that we shouldn't have lost, which was tough. You know what I mean? The Dallas game, the Laker game. We shouldn't have lost that Laker game. I was in my house. Damn, they're crying, family. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah, I was sad. But I just like the fact that we're competitive every night. So I do see us winning a playoff series because the heart of our team, we have a lot of heart. Like even Hartenstein last night. Let's talk about Hartenstein last. Y'all didn't even brought up Hart playing real defense. Did he even hit the floor last night?
Yeah, he did once or twice. he rolled over somebody. But I heard he's gritty and grimy, man. He gets to the boards. He got some good rebounds last night. I think he had about 10 rebounds last night. I mean, he bangs. You know what I mean? He is not a defensive minded player. He's not a super uber athletic athletic player, but he's gritty, man. He gets out there. He plays hard defense. He puts his hand in the cookie jar one too many times for me, once in a blue moon. But he gets out there and he gives it all out there, man. He's not a springy like athletic player like a Sims or like a Mitchell Robinson, but he gets out there and he's gritty. He can pass the ball. He does some good things for the team, man. And he's been playing good basketball since Mitchell Robinson's been down. So you're right. I've been dogging our hard the whole year, One like a true Knicks fan. One game I'll give him his props, and the next game I'm eating him up. You know what I mean? I'm putting him right under the bus. You know what I mean? So, but he has definitely changed my mindset on how he plays basketball, because I'm like you said, we watch every game. You see him do things, and you be like, you appreciate that. You appreciate that grittiness. Sometimes he gets to the rim and he can't make a basket. He gets about 6 offensive rebounds on one play and doesn't get the basket, but you appreciate stuff like that. You know what I mean? So I give kudos to all the guys, man. All the guys is really, you know what I mean? And about a week ago, man, we was talking so hard about how we really needed help on the second unit and stuff like that. And the second unit last night came through for us. Do I think that we make a trade this year at the deadline? I mean, if we don't, I think we make at least one trade, and that has to be for Cam Reddish, man. If we don't get Cam Reddish off this team, and Cam Reddish is not traded, and we could have used him in about 6 or 7 of those games that we lost,
20 of them.
I'm going to be one of those guys on Twitter ripping into Tom Thibodeau and doing all that other, malarkey and all that other stuff. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying, I think that's one of the trades that we have to get off of. I would really love for us to get somebody to help us out on the bench, man. I would love Granderson. I think that's his name, Granderson. I would love someone. Trent. If we get Trent started, man. Trent gonna start, man. You know what I mean? So that's gonna push Grimes into the second unit. You know what I mean?
Still a win-win.
I mean, it's not a bad.
I agree.
It's not
Grimes
bad.
coming off the bench, giving you that defense, and
it's not bad. I am not mad at that, man. Maybe if we could get somebody like a Crowder, you know what I mean, some veteran in that second unit to help the second unit out. And I mean, I would love for us to go out there and get Obi, you know what I mean, OG, you know what I mean. I would love for us to go out there and get OG, but I think OG is going to take, especially in this trade deadline, they're going to want too much for him. And I mean, everybody's chopping about him and talking about him, and if the Knicks get him, we may have to give up IQ, Obi Toppin, you know what I mean, 3 first round, two unprotected first round picks, plus the Mavs top 10 pick. I don't know if I'm ready to give that much up for OG, and not sure that he's going to sign with us again. I'm not sure about that, and I'm not giving up IQ for nothing, man. I might could see Obi going maybe in the off season or something. Maybe Obi going, but I ain't giving up IQ, and I definitely don't think Grimes should be taken out there. Second year for Grimes, first year as a starter. Next year, he's going to work out and get bigger, stronger, faster. He's going to make some of these more moves, and he's going to get better shots because, he's going to take more shots because sometimes he hesitates to take a shot. He's going to be in the league 3 years now. He's going to be a starter. Now when he gets the ball in his hand, they need a quick three-pointer, he's going to shoot them. I think next year he'll have a better shooting percentage with more shots.
Yeah. OG, the OG thing, I'm going to tell you something, man. You get that.
I would love to get him, man, but I don't want to give up 3 first rounders. I don't want to give up an IQ and an Obi and a Reddish.
I will give him Cam Reddish, Evan Fournier, and I give them 3 picks. Take it away.
Somebody said, why would we give up 3 picks for OG when we didn't give up the 3 picks for Donovan? And I agree with that.
I think they also, in a sense, but look what else they wanted with them picks. They wanted RJ and other people.
Yeah, and they didn't just want 3 picks. They wanted 3 picks, like 2 swaps. Yeah. They wanted the partridge in a pear tree. They wanted a rib. You know what I mean?
They begging.
Yeah, they wanted a lot. They wanted a lot, man.
They begging. They thinking we stupid. They begging.
Yeah, they was trying to do us dirty with that. I would have loved to get Mitchell in here, but they really wanted you. One of the first trade proposals was RJ, Mitchell Robinson, and Obi Toppin with three unprotected first round picks. Man, that set us back a lot, man. I mean, I would have probably did it, you know what I mean, in hindsight, but we're giving up
RJ and Obi, Shaw.
That's what I'm saying.
No,
that's what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
You can't get Mitch. No.
Right. The players that we're offering up, I wasn't with it. Like
Thank
even
God
with this,
it.
even
It's
even even with
bad.
this
I ain't
OG,
gonna lie. You can't take
even with this
my
OG,
starting
you know what I
center.
mean? Even with this OG thing, man, I'm not really ready to give up IQ, Obi Toppin, Cam Reddish, and
Hold on.
3 first-round picks.
IQ
I mean,
off the table, Shaw. We know we ain't giving up IQ.
I'm
Obi
just saying,
and
and,
three.
and, and
If we got to give up 3 picks and it's a second rounder and 2 first, who
nah, they don't want
wins?
that. They don't want that. I came up with a proposal. I said maybe give them a 24 24 first-round pick, the
Yeah.
Mavericks first-round pick this year, and the Detroit first-round pick. That's that 1 and 18 pick. If they would have took that and maybe Reddish and Evan Fournier, I'd have jumped all over that. But they don't want that. They want unprotected. You know what I mean? Because they know that we're going to be good. We be good. The picks stay high. Nah, I ain't with that.
How many unprotecteds do we have?
I like what Frank Motto got there. I'm telling you, Frank Motto said that one on. I'm gonna tell you here something we all got to remember. All them unprotected picks from Washington, all these guys. I mean the protected picks. You might not even see them picks, bro. I mean, we might not even see them picks.
Word.
They not moving the needle for the Knicks. The
No.
Knicks, that 20 them picks ain't coming to the Knicks and play no battle. The Knicks trying to go to the playoffs. They're not gonna bring if they're not playing Obi them the way. What do you think they're gonna do with these picks? The Knicks, they take that and get OG Anunoby. You're not gonna put like this here. I don't think that 2023 unprotected, the Washington one in Detroit, they would never play basketball in Knicks uniform.
No, that's a great point, Devon, because
Not playing basketball.
real talk, they would never, because if we in win now mode, fam,
Yeah, man.
why we bring in prospects to grow in the system? That don't even make sense.
We already got enough of them.
The timeline that everybody be talking about, right?
Mhm.
Everybody always talking about this timeline, and then they talking about picks. If you be logical, right? If you're being logical, we're not drafting. Why you think they didn't draft no players last year?
Facts.
Because we got all these young players
Because we drafted young players that needed to develop, and if you draft more young players that need to develop, then they get in their way, right?
Yeah.
Let's be logical. The logic ain't hard. So when you drop that point, Ron, that's a 100% great point. These picks are strictly to get somebody to improve the team.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing less, nothing more. It's for other teams that want to hope and wish on a prospect. It's not for us. So we need to get off that hype train and get back into the window because that ledge, don't jump off it.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. Now, there was top 10 picks. That's a different story. I mean, you top 10, top 5, top 15, or top 11. Okay, but you talk about 25 and 23.
But all the teams we got picks from is semi-competitive, right?
Right.
So if they're going to be middle of the pack, we're not getting that player anyway unless you could book and package them picks for somebody to be susceptible to think, oh, I could get 3 or 4 players in a couple years, Sam Presti type, but we are not getting that player.
You know what's crazy real quick, Shy, my man, Smoking, even if you get Anunoby, he could be trading from the Knicks too. But ain't nothing wrong with getting Anunoby right now to put with this team we got right now. Anunoby helps put this team even higher, bro, because what he could do with a basketball, Obi Toppin can't do it. He can't do it. Anunoby can do with a basketball. Cam Reddish can't even do it. Obi on a consistent basis. I'm saying what Anunoby can do. He make this team more stronger in a lot of ways because he's multi-dimensional. He can play multiple positions defensively, and he got a pretty decent offense game. He could be a true. Even when you take Randall out the rest, and you move Anunoby to the 4, you can move RJ back to the 3. He makes this team so diverse. It's crazy because his length, his skill set, and what he can do with the ball. He make this team. When you got people who got to guard Jason Tatum on a night in the playoffs, I'm saying not one game and every other night, but when you get in the playoffs, you got a guy who got to guard Jason Tatum for 4 or 5 games in the playoffs, or they got to guard somebody. He's that dude. When you got Jalen Brunson, RJ, and Randall, who your dominant scorers, we don't need Anunoby just to go out here and score the ball. We got that. But what that cat can do with his length and his defense, that's what we need him for. We don't win. Scoring is the one thing about New York Knicks this year. One problem we don't have is scoring the basketball. We got guys who get it. They just where do we lose games at on the defense side? Why did we win the other night? One, we only gave up 104. Why did we lose the other night? 129, 121. Come on, y'all. Anunoby fits the mold. He at the right age. He been on a championship team over there with Kawhi and them. I think he might have been a rookie or something when they won that. If I'm not mistaken. He's been around enough to know basketball. He's been around good players. So he's gonna come to New York, a bunch of other good players just blend right in. I think he could change the game. But other than the superstar, Shaw Howard, other than the superstar who we know, I think he makes this team better than they are right now by a long shot. Because I guarantee you, Obi Toppin cannot give you what Anunoby can give you when you got to guard a cat who's 6'10" and literally guard him.
Is he the Rasheed Wallace to our Detroit Pistons?
Pretty much.
That's a question I've been wanting to ask. I ain't got to ask it, so I appreciate y'all letting me ask it finally, right?
Yeah,
is he the Rasheed Wallace to our Detroit Pistons? Is we winning a championship after we get OG? Is he changing our whole future? If not, for the next 5 seasons to where we get to Eastern Conference championships every single year after we acquire him, right? Will we at least be second or third or Eastern Conference finals this year from acquiring him? And this is a good question because if he's not our Rasheed Wallace, I don't want him.
But you know what? And the thing, Shaw Powell, is like, he's not coming in here to be better than Arden. He's not coming here to be better than Brunson. He's not coming in here to be better than Randall. He's coming here to be their peers. You know what I mean? He coming there to do the things that he do to make them guys game easier. You put Anunoby in that side lineup, and even if you had to move Arden to the 2 or whatever the case may be. But look at that lineup, though. Mitchell Robinson, defense ball player. Randall will play when he wants to. He's a defense ball player. You know what I mean? Up in a wing position, I'm saying. I think it would be tough to move Quentin Grimes because what he's doing is phenomenal. But Anunoby, he makes this team more deeper in all senses. If they get him, fine. They don't get him, you know, you move on. I'm not banking on him, but I'm just trying to say he makes this team better.
I agree with you. He does make us. He makes us a lot more deep, especially defensively. Which defensively gives you more opportunities when you can stop a team. So even if we make mistakes, it gives us more opportunities to get out of those bad rhythms because you get more offensive opportunities. So I agree with you that he adds factors that we should definitely worry about, especially in late game situations, because sometimes we might not score as easy and other teams score easier on us, right? So we might need another defensive factor at them late game situations that can make it a little easier for other players to get their stuff off, or make it harder for the other team to get their stuff off, because it's hard for us to score in them late game situations, but it's easier for other teams to score in those situations as well. So that's a factor that we have to worry about. You know what I mean? All variables.
Yeah, I agree. Like I said, I'm not saying I don't think he get them. I put like that. I think Anunoby get the Knicks to the second round or more. That's what I guess where I'm trying to go with the thing. But if in the long term thing, it all depends what he do this year. If you were to trade him to the Knicks, shot and he balls out and help us get to the second round, then you got to think about signing him after that. Because you know what, you're like, damn, he get to the second round, we still got enough assets to still go get a dude to help us get us to the third round. You know, hypothetically, but at least the foundation is built with the 3 guys we got now. Our mainstay, the Anunoby. I think you got a guy who could guard Jason Tatum, like I said. He can guard all the forwards and so small forwards and power forwards in the NBA. On any given night, he's going to come out there and bring it on the defense side of the ball. And I think that's what we're missing from this team is a guy who could play defense like he played at that position with the 6'9s and the 6'10s and the 6'7s, 6'8s. And I know we could defend them, defend them pretty well. So that's why I like him. I just think the fit, he remind me like maybe not the ruggedness, but the size like Charles Oakley. Like Charles Oakley was at that 4. You know, he had that spot locked when it come to playing in the NBA. He was guarding the best cats every night, and he was holding them down. You know what I mean?
He like a pocket knife. He got a little bit of everything on it, right? He got a can opener. He got a beer can. He got a little knife. He got some scissors. I feel you.
I think for the short run, I don't have a problem with it for the short run. And even the contract that we giving away, like I said, I don't. Them picks to me is like they ain't gonna be seen. I don't want to do the picks though, regardless of what for one a rental though. I wouldn't do it for a rental. But if we, so that's why it's a hard decision for them to make. Is do OD move the needle to help to get the Knicks closer, and we still gonna need a player. But obviously we have the infrastructure to get another player. But he also could be put in the package deal. If we get Obi and Anunoby, say okay, we're gonna give an Anunoby this guy to get this guy. He makes the package strong. He makes the package strong. You know what I mean, Shop Powell?
Will we own his rights if we trade for him?
Sure. It's a good question. But I think he can get you. He can get you a quality star in return with the rest of the picks and the assets. That's why I think it's a good move. You're not going to lose. You're not going to lose your clout with him, or you're not going backwards by getting him. That's what I'm trying to say. If you get Anunoby, you still don't go backwards because you could trade him and whatever, and trade him with a piece. You say you want a big piece, a cat, whoever. Hypothetically, I'm just throwing out names, but he could be a part of a piece to get you another piece. You know what I mean? A bigger piece with the picks and maybe another couple of players. That's why I like him, because I think his size and what he do is needed in the NBA. Think about everybody who went in the MVPs in the NBA other than Steph Curry. They all are small forwards, the power forwards, and centers. His position is needed in the NBA because some of the most talented cats is up in that wing position in the NBA at the 4 and the 5. Look at Julius Randle. He's a talented player. You got LeBron there, AD, you got KD, you got Jason Tatum, you got Giannis. Them power forwards and centers right now. I know we know it's a guard league, but them cats is really running the NBA, bro. Think about all these cats. Other than Steph Curry, them cats are dominating the NBA. Jokic done 2 times in the last couple of years MVP. After that was Giannis and Joel Embiid waiting to get one. You still had these tall, dominant, big dudes, even as power forwards who kind of. That's why I like a guy like Anunoby. That's what we need. So think about the game against LeBron on last night. Who beat us against LeBron the other night? Big AD, big LeBron. Them the cats beat us the other night.
And the refs.
Yeah.
And the refs. I mean, I'm right there. The big thing about OG. I mean, I haven't really looked at the books and stuff. I know we have probably about $8 million before we hit the real luxuries like tab. I think we're like 41, 42, somewhere around there, $142 million or something like that. I think that the hard cap is 150. We really don't want to go over that because then we'd be in that luxury tax thing. So, I mean, to fit him in here, probably give him a contract around 20 something million dollars. I mean, we have to make a couple of moves or something like that to, make that happen. I'm not saying I don't want him. I would love to see him playing here on the Knicks. He is a little injury prone. I understand that he probably hasn't had a full season of playing basketball, but not too many NBA players does. You know what I mean? But if you could get 73 games out of him, with him being in the playoffs, throughout the season, he plays 73 games, but he makes us to the playoffs and he plays in the playoffs. Those 13 so games that I'm to 73, 7 to make it 80. 83. So 10 extra 10 extra games that he misses. If he misses them through the duration of the season and he plays the playoffs, I mean, he's well worth it. You know what I mean? He's well worth it, man. That would be a big lineup that we have with RJ, him, Randall, Mitchell Robinson, and Brunson. And let it be known, Brunson may not be the defensive player of the year or nothing like that. But Brunson does get out there and play gritty. He's always in somebody's face when they're shooting the free throws. You know what I mean? He may be short in stature, but he's big and hard. You know what I mean? So that would be I'm not against it. I'm not against it, but I'm against it if they're talking about trading and grind. Yeah, I'm against it if they're trying to talk about trading IQ. You know what I mean? I'm against it. Those two players. I'm a little against it. If you're talking about trying to bring them in there, you're talking about we want Grimes, OB, and Evan Fournier, or we want IQ, Reddish, and OB. I ain't with it.
Hey, check it out. I got one for y'all. I'm gonna tell you why I would do it, and y'all gonna trip off this. We gave Evan Fournier 4 years, $76 million. And you wouldn't get Anunoby $20 million a year. We gave Evan Fournier $18 million, bro. He did nothing for the Knicks. and you would not give Anunoby $20 million, but you gave Fournier $18 million a year, and 1 year he had a decent 3-point shooting record. That was last year, but the Knicks still was under 500. And you would not give Anunoby what he could do for this team, and you gave Evan Fournier $18 million just for shooting the basketball, just for shooting. And you wouldn't give Anunoby $20 million a year for what he could do. That's what so the money and with the salary cap going up, that $20 million contract would look like nothing in 2-3 years. And you know, right. So if you could get him to stay healthy, we got $32 million not even playing basketball right now for the Knicks, except when he played last night. Evan Fournier, Derrick Rose ain't playing at $14 million. Evan Fournier sticking up and joining at $18 million. Come on. Yo, and this cat make our team better from that position, defending, scoring, everything. You know, so you got to look at things like that. That's what I try to compare to. Is he worth his money? I think Anunoby is worth his money. That's where I get caught up with it. Like, I think the man worth his money. He may average 17 points a game. He rebound and defend. He worth his money in the day NBA. We know me, Dot Chop, how $1 million a point. You get a point, you get $1 million. You know what I mean? That's where I'm at with it. You know what I mean? You scoring 20 points a game, you pretty gonna hit $20 million a year. RJ got $20 million a year, now he's scoring 20 points a game. $1 million a point. But for what he do, and compared to what you gave Fournier and them, I'll take that boy all day. All day. Walk him up here, put him up here in the garden with that toughness, size. Let's go battle, man. That's what it is. I mean, and then we got our 3 scores. We ain't asked him to come in to score 30 a game. We ain't even asked him to do that. We don't even need it. We got 3 guys right now scoring 20 a game for that. So I like the piece, the fit. I like the fit that he brings. It's not so much about how good he is, it's the fit this cat can bring to this team. We need a dude like Anunoby, because watching the playoffs, you see when we rolled up against these 6'10" cats that can really get it like Giannis and them, and how hard it's going to be for Julius Randle, you're going to see how we need Anunoby. Because he can help slow them cats down, smoking. So that's why I like him. Before Gary Trent, I think that's another good move. I think you can't go wrong with either one of them cats. You know, I prefer, but to be honest with you, I would kind of like Gary Trent shot power because
I like Trent. Yeah,
even though him and Grimes got that same position, pretty much literally play the same position.
Truth be told, Grimes, Grimes is striving to be something like a Trent Jr. You know what I mean? Shooting the ball, driving the ball, playing consistent basketball and stuff like that. You know, that's somewhat that I can see Grimes, you know, quote unquote, striving to be like, you know what I mean? A player like that, you know. So, let's just see what happens. We only got, what's today, the 3rd? We only got about 6 more days before you know what I mean? 6 more days before this thing pop off. And let's see what happens. But on that note, too, Devon, what time is it?
Yeah, we about to get out of here, man. I'm about to tell you it's 10. We got the pregame tomorrow, man. Knicks and Clippers. So we're going to get up out of here, man. We got the Knicks and Clippers tomorrow. Going to be a fun game. Kawhi Leonard, Paul George coming in the building against RJ Barrett and Julius Randle. I don't know if Jalen Brunson will be back. They got a squad down there, man. They got Reggie Jackson, Mook Morris, Zubac, John Wall, but I don't think John Wall is playing. Gonna be a tough task for the Knicks, man. But lately we've been up for the tough tasks. We've been losing games 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points. That's good right there to be playing all the competitions. And we take an L, but we losing by 3 or 4. That lets you know they got fight in them. They got dog in them because they only lose about a little bit every night. So tomorrow gonna be a tough game, but I think they come to play, man. I think the Knicks come to play. Like I said, they got the Heat. The Heat play the Bucks. Oh my God! I hope Giannis will get them boys to business tomorrow. And the Knicks win that game. We right there back at the 6th spot, 29 and 25. Heat be 29 and 25. Big game tonight. The Hawks play they 26 and 26. We're hoping they take an L to go under 500. So it's gonna be some interesting going on tonight. But tomorrow's the real one, man. We'll be in the building at the game is at 7. So 5:45, we do the pregame show, man. Break down the starting lineup, injury report, tailor the tape, and all that good stuff. We're going to get it popping, man. We have my man Smoking Nick in the building with us tonight, dropping some jewels. My brother, we appreciate you. You already know how we do. Yeah, I'm glad to see you up in here, man. It's all love up in here, man. That's what we do.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you having me, man. And respectfully, I wasn't trying to argue. Just a little pushback, but I understand,
No, it wasn't about the argument. It wasn't about the argument. It was just about let everybody get their point across. When I speak, when I speak, I had spoken. When you speak, you had spoken. Then we move to the next guy. It wasn't about the argument. There, I have no problem with passion. Because I'm a passionate dude, I get crazy. So I'm with you on that. I want to make sure that we hear each other out, let everybody speak. Then when they speak, the next man go, And that's all. It's all good, brother. Ain't nothing.
100%. No, I feel you 100%. It's all love.
Yeah, man, this door is always open for you, brothers, man. You catch some of the wisest brothers on the planet, the real indoor Knicks fans, the underground cats like us. I ain't talking about ESPN and everybody, I'm talking about us. It's where the real knowledge is at. You know what I mean? That's why we always up in here doing what we do, because we don't give it to you 100. We ain't gonna keep it real with you. We ain't no hyperbole, man. We ain't going through all that. Ain't no clickbait, no hating. We just gonna talk about the Knicks, man. That's what we do.
I want to ask you a quick question, Spoken Knicks. I think you on Twitter, right?
I am on Twitter, man. My phone been broke for like a month, so I haven't been recent.
Yeah. I think I seen you in somebody's chat. I think I followed you, just in whatever, just saying that out there. But with that being said, what was you gonna say, Devon? I'm sorry.
No, I was saying, man, salute to the chat. That's where it's at. You already know.
Yeah, that's where I'm about to go with it, man. Smoking Knicks, thank you for coming in here, man. Salute to you, Divine, to the chat. That's where it's at. Thank you for holding us down for this 2-hour marathon that we got going on right here. Salute to all the guys in the chat as always and stuff. Divine, I'll hit up with you tomorrow. You know what I mean? I'm gonna get off of here. I'm gonna go get myself to get ready for work tomorrow and stuff like that. And we'll be ready for that. We'll be ready for that post game tomorrow, man. Salute to you, Divine. Salute to you, Smoking. And salute to the chat. Let's get it.
Sure. Salute to the chat. That's where it's at.
100%.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. Give me your last words, brother. Give me your thoughts before you get out of here, man.
Who you say we play tomorrow?
Clippers. We got Kawhi and them tomorrow.
Look, Kawhi always hurt, so we can't trust him, but we could trust that Julius two-time Randle is going to be there for us, right? So, you know what I mean? And we could trust that Tibbs with his smoker's voice that don't smoke one cigarette in his lifetime is going to be there for us, screaming from top to bottom. So, you feel me?
Yes, sir.
As long as we got people that care, we should care. You feel what I'm saying? I mean, and, I'm going to do a shameless plug, man. Hit the likes and subscribe to Knicks Real Talk.
Real Talk,
man.
I mean? Yes, sir. Run them up with the thumbs up, man.
And a matter of fact, hit the notification bell. You feel me?
Yes, sir.
And come to the Smoking Nick, too, because this is where you're getting the real content. Unadulterated, unfiltered. Real spit. You know what I mean? And I'm one of your day ones. You know that, though.
Yes, sir.
I ain't got to say it.
Listen, I'm going to tell you how OG he is. I've been with Smoking Niggas to come on there with no T-shirt or nothing. Yeah, with a blunt in the hand or whatever. He would come on.
Yo, see, I keep my shirt on now. And
Yeah,
I'm saying the N-word. See, I'm growing. Right.
It's all love, man. It's all love, everybody.
You're funny. That's real talk.
Yeah, it's real talk. I'm telling you, we keep it 100. You know we do. But it's all good, man. Shout out, appreciate you, my brother, as always.
Y'all ready?
Tomorrow, Spoken Nick, thank you for coming in. Salute to the chat. That's where it's at. Y'all already know Knicks Real Talk. The post game tonight, man. We had a good time over here, man.
Love you, Knicks family.
Yes, sir. Y'all already get it popping, man. Tomorrow, man. 5:45 pregame, man. We got the Knicks and the Clippers, Kawhi and the Paul George, John
pulling up.
Mook Morris, the whole crew, Tyronn Lue. They coming to MSG tomorrow, but we're gonna come up there and get a pop.
We want beef. We got smoke.
Yeah, well, let's go get it, New York Knicks, man. We need this win tomorrow. To keep us in contention. We playing good basketball. Hopefully Brunson be back soon, and Mitchell Robinson get back. Shop out. We get it popping, man. So listen, salute to everybody. Shop out, my brother. I'll holler at you, man. We out.
You ready?
Peace.
Work. 100.
Let's get it.
Time for Divine Shot, KJ Events. This real talks the brand. You understand how we do, my man. I'm on that Friday night Nick shit, dripping in Nick shit. Up in the world, most famous arena with a click. That's the conglomerate. The Knicks real talk is real prominent. I'm a bit like the Omicron variant, so dominant. Paying homage to the cat in the chat. That's where it's at. Cause I'm hearing that. You don't care for hyperbole, we straight facts. We interact with the mob, the gods. Up in the pod, the squad, the side. The entourage be on the job by energy. 50 took the 10 books. As they took my game plan, and my brand for loot and pursuit. Going hard like the New York City gritty committee. Cause that the Knicks we know is pretty, but we all stay giddy. But we embrace the fan base like the late Anthony Mace. We create the logo when there's hair space that appear like square space. Staring down on the Chase Bridge, look at that Knicks City drip. And 50 Jackson's on the court, looking pretty legit. I think true to the orange and blue. I thought you knew for him a few bars to shine like Star Divine on Mount Mars. Knicks Real Talk. Here we go, let's go.
Knicks Real Talk right here. I'm representing
Knicks Real Talk.
right here. Let's get
Here we go, let's
here.
go.
We here in the building.
Knicks real talk.
Let's get it.
Here we go, let's go.
Yeah, for real. Yes, sir.
Knicks real talk.
Yeah.
Here we go, let's go.
Let's get it. Let's get it. Yeah, for real. Yes, sir.
Let's get it.